Greetings, pro wrestling fans, and thank you for joining us at the Pro Wrestling LookBack Podcast. I'm Nick, and I'm sitting here with
Donovan, and it's Donovan.
You gonna keep the spelling up now? Is that gonna be like a going forward thing, or
They need to know.
The new listeners need to know.
They need to know
how to spell.
Yeah,
that's good. That's good. Well, we're here. We're back. This is the Pro Wrestling LookBack Podcast. This is the Roundtable, episode 53. My boy Donovan missed episode 52. I was pretty disappointed, and I've been hyping up episode 52 for about 5 weeks, and it was me and Will, but it was a good one. I hope you enjoyed the show last week and the extra long Formula 1 update that we did on that show. If you don't already, though, give us a follow on Instagram and Twitter at PW LookBack on both of those. Head over to teespring.com/Pro Wrestling LookBack. Check out the new t-shirt on there. It's not a work.
Oh, it's not.
It's not a work. If you want to send us an email, prowrestlinglookback@gmail.com is where you can do that. Don't forget to like, share, follow, subscribe, hit the 5 stars on iTunes, and leave us a comment. We'd really appreciate that. iTunes, Spotify, Podbean, and YouTube, as always, are where you can get the show. If you want to get in contact with myself and or Donovan, it's at Salsa, SCELSA.
Mine is at JustDon44.
Yeah, that's pretty much all that stuff. If you want to get in contact with us any other way, send us a DM, PM, anything kind of, through Instagram or Twitter, and we'll, topics, questions, comments, any ideas for look-back shows or even random topics for roundtables. We're always open to ideas. Thanks again, like I said, for Will jumping on the show last week. It was cool. It was fun to do that for episode 52, Don. And don't forget to check out our sponsor at Pure Oxide Premium CBD Oils. Check them out on Instagram at Pure Oxide CBD. Check out the website, pureoxide.com. Like I always say these the last couple weeks, guys, amazing product, awesome for anxiety, muscle pain, joint pain. It's THC free, no GMOs, pet friendly. It's also really good for anxiety and kind of any of that kind of stressful stuff that you may or may not be dealing with. They offer a 2,500 milligram bottle and a 5,000 milligram bottle, as well as a 3,000 milligram cream. If you want to get in contact with them any other way, check out at justin.brothers on Instagram as well. Check him out there, and he'll hook you up with the good stuff. Like I said, I've been using it, so you can take my word for it. It's good stuff. In the meantime, Don, you left me hanging last week. How you been? How you been, bro?
Gonna hold that against me, eh?
No, a little bit. I gotta,
I've been good, fighting I think the weather change, allergies, or fighting a cold or some shit. But I'm good now.
Oh, okay. That's what it was.
Yeah.
It was a cold.
Something like that.
Anyway, this week on the show, Don is back. Like I said, we're going to talk a little bit about the Clash of Champions preview, kind of go match for match and talk a little bit about what happened on Raw and SmackDown, kind of with each of those matches. We're going to get into the King of the Ring finals. I can't wait to talk to you about this and some of the texting that me and you did back and forth this week about, the potential of the finals there. We're going to get Don's thoughts on UFC 242 and the whole Khabib and everything else that happened at that show. Probably a little bit of talk. We'll mix it into Clash of Champions preview, but Raw and SmackDown being at MSG this week.
Yeah.
And then the F1 update at the end of the show. But before that, I want to talk to Donovan about a few things like we normally do here on the LookBack Show and the round table and everything that we do. Well, first, don't forget to check out our LookBack Show that we recently just dropped.
Yeah, man. King of the Ring season is here. So we did a look back of King of the Ring 2002.
Yeah, great one. It was one of the longer ones, and honestly, bro, it was one of my favorite ones to record. And I listened to it back last week because I always like to listen to especially the LookBack shows. But I listened to it back, and it turned out really good.
Nice.
So, I mean, at least that's what I think. I don't know. You guys let us know. Send us some comments and DMs, and let us know if you like that LookBack show. But
And wait, and if you guys are looking for the names, you can only get them on the LookBack Show. So if you want the names, go check them out.
Yeah, the special Dawn names is what he's referring to there. But yeah, they're only on the LookBack Show, and this is the Roundtable. So
Podcast Poppy.
That's good. Bro, so how about this fucking Star Wars hype? It's real now. We're less than 100. I think we're less. If we're not, I think we're almost less than 100 days to this Rise of Skywalker movie. I don't want to spend too much time on this, but I just wanted to kind of acknowledge that the hype is real.
Yeah.
The trailer that they released, and I never ended up posting that video of my reaction. Did I showed it to you? No.
Yeah, you did. Yeah.
Yeah, I should have posted it, but maybe we'll see. But either way, I'm excited as fuck for this movie. I can't wait to see kind of what really ends up happening and who ends up switching sides, and honestly, how many people are going to be brought back into this movie from past movies. So I don't know. I wanted to take a second to kind of, the Star Wars hype is real.
Yeah, that'll be interesting too. Like when you talk about that, bringing back people from past movies.
Yeah.
I don't know, man.
It's one of those things. That's what's so cool about Star Wars is how the lineage from not only like the movies themselves coming out in the 70s and then the early 2000s and then now in the 15, 16, 17, 19, you know what I mean? It's the fact that it's all connected. It's so cool. I was listening. I should tell the people about this. So you know how I do. I take the Star Wars movies because I work outside and I listen to a lot of podcasts. I take the Star Wars movies. I use the recording equipment and I record the audio from the movies. Yeah. Because I've seen the movies enough times that I can pretty much just listen to the movie and I know what's happening. But I was listening to The Force Awakens and the scene where, if anybody hasn't seen it, spoilers, when it's not really a spoiler, but either way, when Rey kind of says to Han, like, oh, this is the ship that made the Kessel Run in 14 parsecs. And when Han just, 12. And he just says 12 parsecs. As much as I didn't like, or I wasn't hyped up for the whole Solo movie going in, I love it now because the first thing that popped into my head was them doing the Kessel Run in the Solo movie, which is, it's just awesome that references are made in movies that 30 years later in the movie. Well, I guess 30 years later in real life, but you know what I mean? 30 years later in a movie to something, a different actor, you know what I mean? I love the lineage. That's one of my favorite things about Star Wars. The fact that, Kylo Ren is related to people from 6 movies ago, and it's, you know what I mean? Yeah, no, it's going to be fucking awesome. I can't wait. And, hopefully we'll check this one together. Oh, definitely. I think we should do a look back, a random, I'm down. A little side Star Wars-y type look back show. That would be, I don't know, it would be something different. But gotta hit up our boy Tanner for that one too. Yeah, where are you, Tanner? Get at us. Dude, I actually messaged him earlier. So I was talking to him, I was saying we gotta get him in here soon too. Get him on a round table or come watch the pay-per-view or something. Yeah, we'll get him in for maybe a Raw on the round table. That would be even just a round table. We could just shoot the shit with Tanner for a bit, and the episode will definitely turn out good. But more stuff, honestly, just from this week, bro. I had to shout out. Obviously, I'm a big Joe Rogan listener, and anybody that listens to our show that has never checked out his show, definitely check it out. Because if you're somebody that likes podcasts, and I assume if you're listening to this, you like podcasts, go check out his show. He always has really good guests, but I kind of prefer like the scientists, neurologists, philosophers, all that kind of shit. And this week he had Neil deGrasse Tyson, who most people are very familiar with from Cosmos, and he's probably the most famous astrophysicist that there ever has been, other than maybe Carl Sagan. And then there was another episode with this guy David St. Clair, and then there was a new episode that dropped today, the day we were recording on Thursday, with Nick Benston, I believe it is, and this episode was nuts. You need to go check this out. If you haven't, maybe, I don't know, yourself, you might be interested in it too, Donovan, but it was all about AI and like artificial intelligence, and are we living in a simulation, and all this crazy stuff about, potential for the future and the human race, millions of years in the future. And they made a lot of references to kind of the time that we live now, and it being such a important time that it would almost be like in the future, this would be a time that you'd want to see. Yeah. Because it's of so many things that have happened in the last 20, 30 years. Internet, maybe not electricity, but internet, cell phones, that kind of stuff that has changed the way the whole world works. It's, I don't know, really cool stuff. Neil deGrasse Tyson episode was, honestly, they talked a lot more about ice and that kind of shit than I was anticipating than space, but and I liked how much Joe was really pressing him. Like there was a lot of topics where I felt like Joe didn't agree with him, and then kind of just they went off back and forth a lot more. And then the David St. Clair episode was really good too. He's kind of more just a biologist, I think it was. But yeah, they're really good. Is there any Rogan episodes that you've listened to in the last like 2 months or month that have, I don't know. I figured we don't do this often on the show, but it's one of the best podcasts out there. So if there's any guests that you think our listeners should check out, then fire them. Honestly, the names of the guys, some of them are slipping my mind at the moment. I watched one he had like a couple weeks ago with a former boxer on there. I can't remember his name, and I can't believe I can't remember because it's like on the tip of my tongue. Yeah, no worries. I didn't see that one, but I watched that. The versatility of his show is incredible too. Oh, it's awesome. The fact that he'll have a philosopher and then a UFC guy and then random Joe Schmo friend of his on the next episode is really cool. Sorry, I just wanted to clarify. The David St. Clair that I mentioned, he's a PhD and professor of development and genetics at a university focusing in aging. So the whole episode was talking about aging of humans and how how we can change the aging process of humans in the future and what can be done and different, stem cell stuff. And I don't know. It was very interesting, and I like that kind of stuff. When I'm not listening to wrestling and F1, that's what I'm listening to. So I just wanted to give him a little bit of a shout out on our show.
Yeah, no, for sure. It wasn't Rogan recently, but whose podcast I did check out for the first time was Mike Tyson.
Oh, yeah. Doesn't he smoke mad weed on it? Isn't that the thing? They smoke mad weed together?
Yeah, it's him, his co-host. I can't remember that gentleman's name. And the one I was watching was with Tyson Fury, the boxer.
That's
funny. Random that I decided to watch it.
It's funny that you say that because you know who I listened to I guess it was Mike Tyson, but it wasn't Mike Tyson's show. It was I listened to Mike Tyson on Joey Diaz's podcast.
Oh yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
And that was really good. Because I think it was after I listened to the Rogan one, I wanted to hear more of him and Joey Diaz talking, and that was a really cool episode.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, go check that out too.
Yeah, he's got some good stories. I feel like he has good interaction with people because whether they can relate or like he kind of puts his own little 2 cents in. It's nice. It's
totally. And Mike Tyson's been through all kinds of craziness, so it's cool to hear his stories and shit as well. But anything else from you or no? Sorry.
You know what else I watched randomly? I had to bring it up too. Wrestling related.
Yeah.
Roundtable related.
Of course.
On WWE's YouTube channel.
Okay.
They had a roundtable.
Oh, did they?
Yes.
Wow.
I don't know who's watching or listening. I don't know. Just saying.
What kind of roundtable?
It was called a roundtable, and it was about the Intercontinental title, with it being the 40-year anniversary recently.
Really?
So they had 3 former champions on there with Kathy Kelly. Is that her name? I believe.
Yep.
So we had Randy Orton, Christian, and The Miz, and they were all just shooting the shit about their title reigns. And
is this similar to like a table for 3, but just in a different kind of setting with no food and no with 4 people, I guess?
Yeah, similar, but even very loose. Like I felt like
I gotta check
Randy
this out.
Yeah.
How long was it?
Dude, it was good. It was like a good 40-50 minutes. Honestly.
What?
Yeah. I watched it like last
40
Sunday.
minutes? Yeah. Motherfucker Jones. I got to check that out.
Yeah, it was good shit, man. And
that sounds really interesting.
An interesting piece that I took away from it that I forgot about was that Randy only had the IC belt once.
That first.
And he had it for so long, though. Like his
in Evolution.
Yeah, and that was the only time he ever had it.
I didn't realize that.
Same, man. And another one that I totally forgot about was that The Miz, the first time he ever won that belt was at Raw 1000.
Yeah, we'll talk about that later.
That's crazy to me. Like, because I watched that, and that was his first reign. Is just whoa.
And he's won it 6-7 times since then.
Yeah,
maybe more. Yeah, we'll talk about Miz and Shinsuke later, my friend, because I'm not excited for that match at the pay-per-view. But anything else? Anything going on crazy for you this week that's worth kind of bringing up on the roundtable?
Nothing with me personally. I feel like that was just a little nice interview I watched. I wanted to. People go check it out for sure. You should check it out too. Yeah.
Any new music on the way coming in? Maybe the Dawn Hour segments. We can drop some new stuff.
Yeah, we can. I could even like. I'm wondering if we could mix in some like unreleased stuff sometime. Maybe.
Totally. We could. Man, I'm doing it again. I'm saying totally too much. I'm doing it again. I've been doing it. It's a new thing that I've been doing the last couple of shows, and I don't like it.
What was the old one? I don't remember. It's okay.
It was pretty good.
There we go. Yeah.
I used to say pretty good a lot, but I'm learning and getting, this is how it takes. But yeah, we can definitely mix in one of your tracks into a roundtable too. Like we did with the Dawn Hour segment. I want to try and do another one of those soon.
Yeah, no, I'm down. We'll figure that out for sure. Man, one that we could also do. I've said it to you before. I don't want to put it in the. I'll put it in the universe now, I guess.
Yeah.
On air here. But because they brought it up again, they went totally off topic in that roundtable with Christian and them and Randy, and they just talked about that series of matches that they had and just how, like, Randy was really saying that like those are some of his best matches ever were with Christian, and like the chemistry they had, and like I'd like to do just a look back series.
I was gonna say, I know you've mentioned that many times that you want to do like a look back of these matches, and I'd be down. I just want to make sure we see the promos in the middle.
Yeah, for sure. No, for sure.
Because I don't want to just watch matches and matches.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Excuse me. I want to see what happens on Raw and SmackDown or whatever was happening kind of in between that stuff.
Yeah.
But we can make it work. I don't know if it would work best in a roundtable setting, maybe like something more like a look back and Randy Christian look back. But yeah, I like the idea.
Because man, like I don't think you've seen any of those, right?
Nope, definitely not in their entirety.
Yeah, definitely. Like
I remember when I first found out about like their series.
Yeah,
was through the 2K15 video game, which was the one with Cena on the cover. And that was the first one I had just got back into wrestling. I was like, oh, I'm going to buy the video game.
Mm-hmm.
And I got the game, and I'm not huge on the 2K games, to side note, but there was a section of, I don't know what they were, but it was like matches that you could redo.
Yeah, do the whole rivalry.
Exactly.
Stuff, yeah.
So they had like CM Punk and John Cena, I
Yeah.
think was in, maybe not CM Punk. I don't know if he was in 2015, probably not. But either way, they had a few rivalries in that game. He might have been, I'm not sure. But that one, the Christian Randy Orton, you could play that series of matches. I think the House of Pain, Mark Henry.
Yep.
Who was he feuding in that?
Randy a bit.
Okay, yeah, I
some
don't-
other people too. Yeah,
Okay, yeah, there was something with Mark Henry in there too that you could play.
I think it was probably the Hall of Pain. I do remember this. We were talking about.
Yeah, I'd have to pull out the game somewhere and pull that stuff up and to find it. But yeah, that's how I found out about that feud originally.
I always thought that was a nice little. I enjoyed that part of the games too. I thought that was cool because I remember there was one that had Punk and Cena. There's one that had Brett and fucking Shawn.
Oh yeah, and I think the one after, like, I never bought it, but I think 2016 had Austin, and you could do like Austin's career all the way from early days all the way up, and it was like you were just Austin.
Maybe I played that. I feel that sounds so familiar to me.
Yeah, maybe you did. 2016. I'm not sure who was on the cover. I think I bought 16 and then I bought 15 and then 17, and then I don't think I've bought. The only ones I bought were Cena and Brock Lesnar. Were on the covers, but Becky Lynch being on there now.
Oh yeah, gotta get her.
But it's fucked because I guarantee you. Well, I don't guarantee, but my guess is the only reason Roman's on that one is because they know it's gonna sell. And maybe it's different now because Roman isn't quite getting booed the way he was 2-3 years ago. But I said that. I'm like, there's a reason he ain't on that fucking video game cover, and it's because they know they'll sell less games.
Yeah.
But I don't know if that would be the case today, like I said, as it would be 2-3 years ago.
Yeah.
But I mean, I know why they put him on now because it's like, well, we got Becky on there. This is a perfect time to put Roman on. But they're still billing Becky as the cover athlete.
It's interesting to me that they did that too with the two of them going back to that kind of formula. Some of the older covers where they have like multiple people.
Yeah, like Stacy Keibler was on one of the ones. I heard that on the Don Tony show, and I was like, I had that game. They talked about Day of Reckoning and how Stacy Keibler was on the cover, and it's pretty random.
Yeah,
but they also had bra and panty matches in that
cover.
game. So, pardon?
One of those dual covers. I remember there was one, and The Rock was on the cover, but they had an alternate cover. If you opened up the inside, and you could flip it and use that as your cover.
Oh, okay.
And it was Daniel Bryan.
Really?
That was during his whole Yes movement. Like, they didn't actually want to, I guess, give him the full-out cover.
But they kind of did.
Yeah.
That's really cool. I never knew that.
Yeah.
Because I've seen that one with Rock on it, and I remember when that came out.
Yeah, if you switch it, it's...
I didn't know that there was something on the background there.
Sorry.
No, you're good.
Yeah.
What about UFC 242, brother?
Oh, yeah.
You want to get into it? I don't have a sound effect. I got to get one.
We need It's time.
That's what I was trying to... I wasn't trying. I'm lying. I was going to try and pull it up on YouTube and get you the clip of Bruce Buffer saying it's time, but
yes, UFC 242, Khabib versus Poirier.
Are we starting with the big one?
For the undisputed.
Can I jump in here for a second?
Before, jump in.
Before I talked to a few guys on Monday about the UFC show. I heard that this show kind of had all the best stuff was on the pre-show. That was what I was gathering from the guys that I was talking to. I didn't watch much of the show, but I heard that it was one of those cards where some of the best fights of the night were in the free aspect of the card.
I'm not gonna lie to you, I didn't watch all that.
So you missed some of it. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know. These are the two guys I was talking to Monday when we were watching Raw. So
depends on the. I think for me it depends on the card. If I'm gonna tune in like from the early prelims and stay all the way till fucking usually 10 o'clock at night.
No. I hear you, and I don't want to. I kind of thought that. I wasn't sure because I feel like you would have said something to me prior to recording about the pre-show being so good.
Yeah.
But I just wanted to ask you because, like I said, the guys I was talking to kind of mentioned that the Khabib fight was good, but then the other fights they didn't. I don't know any names, so don't ask me.
I wonder if they meant like the pre-show or like the other fights on the main card too, like before the main event. Because I watched all those. I watched the whole main card.
And were they good?
Yeah.
Okay.
Good, yeah.
I don't know. Like I said, I don't know too much about UFC. I'm trying to learn more and more as we go through the roundtable. But
yeah. No, for sure. You know what, man? One thing I could say for sure that I took away from this that I thought was nice is that, like, I know with you and some of the races, like, you get to watch them at all different times.
Oh,
right?
fuck yeah.
I really enjoyed that part of this, man. Like
in the middle of the day.
Yeah, and I still had my whole Saturday night.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
That's cool. Yeah.
Like
what time did the pre-show start then? Was it like the morning?
Yeah, probably early on in the morning because the main card started at like 2.
Oh, okay,
so it would have
like
been
10
like
or something like that.
Yeah,
maybe not quite that.
1:12ish. You know,
the afternoon. Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's I like you said, that's something I love about the Formula One is getting up in the middle of the night and watching some of those Asian races and the stuff that isn't on a totally different time schedule.
Yeah,
so
man.
I hear you. When you watch something you love at a different time, it's always cool. I wish I was able to watch some of these WWE shows
like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I'm always working and they're always on Fridays. So.
Yeah.
And again, not that I really want to support the Saudi movement, going over there and
Yes.
doing that much, to be honest. I don't know. I just don't think it's the best business decision that they've made.
I wonder if there's one coming up, not to get like too into that.
No, there probably is.
Probably, right? Yeah.
Well, they signed a deal for like 10 shows over the course of 10 years or something. Or maybe I know they've already been there, 3 times, bro?
Probably, yeah.
How crazy is that to think about?
Yeah.
3 times. They went Greatest Royal Rumble,
Crown
Jewel,
yeah.
And then there was one more.
There's another one.
It was Super Showdown in Saudi Arabia.
Well, no, there was an Australian one.
Yeah, no, I know, but I think they stole the
probably
name.
Did another one.
And the most recent one,
Yeah.
where Goldberg and Undertaker fought.
Seems about right.
I think it was called Super Showdown in Saudi Arabia. They just repurposed the name, I think. Because the one in Australia was the best, I think, of those shows.
Yeah, I think that was the one that I watched a bit of, actually, too.
Yeah.
Actually, I caught a good chunk of the Crown Jewel one randomly because I was sick.
Oh, yeah. See, I watched it on my lunch break, and I happened to just catch that amazing Triple H fucking Shawn Michaels Undertaker Kane tag match.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, yeah. Anyway, UFC 242.
Yeah, man. So, I guess I'm not going to talk about the entire card.
Yeah, no, whatever you feel, like I do with the F1 stuff, maybe like the major.
So we had a third match down from the main event, and it was I want to get this name right. Islam Makhachev, I believe, and he's Khabib's boy, training partner.
It sounds like he didn't butcher it. So.
Kind of looks similar to him, as you can see there on this.
Oh yeah,
side.
I see. Yep,
they look alike almost. And he was fighting Davi Ramos.
He just doesn't wear the afro.
Doesn't wear the afro, yeah. Got the same kind of beard going on.
Yeah, that's what. Yeah.
But man, this was a good fight. This was a great fight. I enjoyed it. This was the third fight down from the main, as I said. It was a lightweight bout, so same weight class as Khabib and Poirier, 155. It went all 3 rounds. There was no crazy submission or knockout, but in the third round, man, Islam, this guy, he put it on fucking Davi Ramos. Like, he just came at him and took him down, did the whole Khabib stuff, took him down and started just...
But he was waiting him out. He wasn't doing that in the first 2 rounds?
Yeah, in the first 2 rounds, honestly, they were more standing and kind of banging back and forth, playing defense, like, it was an interesting fight, though, still, like, technically.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, clearly this guy got the better of him with the third round and then points throughout the other rounds as well, so he picked up the victory there by decision. So another one I'm pretty sure, man, all Khabib's like boys and teammates all won throughout the night too. Like, I think I seen a picture that said they just dominated.
Did they all have a pretty good record, like in general, not just that night?
Yeah, they're all. Yeah, I mean, most of the other guys are probably a lot less than Khabib.
Well, yeah, is he 20-0 now?
I think he's like, dude, I think it's 28. No,
that's nuts.
Yeah,
is that the best record in UFC history?
I gotta look at his exact. It's up there, man. At this point, yeah.
I can't think of somebody else. That
the only I don't want to knock dude for it. The only thing is that, like, some of his earlier opponents, a fight's a fight regardless, man. These guys get in there, respect the fuck out of anybody who gets in there.
Yeah, I mean, when I talk about Floyd Mayweather, like,
you know,
I just mean with maybe the numbers being a little higher than.
It's just like some of the guys that Khabib has fought weren't like, not all of them were top 10.
But were the last 10?
Only the last, like, I want to say the last, like, 5 maybe
were like top,
maybe 4
top 10 fighters 5. That he was fighting.
Yeah, like, he fought Barboza, who I'm going to talk about in a moment here, he's a top 10 contender.
Okay,
beat him. Michael Johnson is a guy he beat who's kind of in that realm. Connor, obviously, is in that realm.
Oh yeah, Connor definitely is. But.
Yeah, but there's not as many. You know what I mean? He hasn't fought as many as a guy like Tony Ferguson, who's been through the fucking ringer. and he's like still on this 18 fight win streak or something like
that's
that.
Crazy.
But the next fight down, and this was kind of cool. This is what I liked about the card, was another lightweight bout. So same division again. So we got the top 3 matches are all in the same weight class.
Oh, really?
So we kind of get to see some things that might play out in the future.
That's got to be rare.
Yeah.
That happens.
Very rare. Yeah.
And were they different types of fighters, or did you get a lot of the same kind of match? Well, I don't want to say matches, but the same sort of, fight, same sort of outcome. I don't know. I don't know what the right word is. Definitely not match, definitely not outcome.
Like the styles.
Styles
of the fight.
Styles,
yeah.
yes.
No, you know what?
Or were they all different styles?
All different.
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
Because when I look at the one I just talked about with Islam, Makhachev, and Davi, I know Davi is more of a jiu-jitsu guy. Islam is more of I want to say like a wrestling style like Khabib with that ground and pound. Take you down, smother you, and beat the piss out of you like that.
But he'll stand up if he has to, and he'll take you down if he needs to.
Yeah.
Okay.
The next one, Edson Barbosa and Paul Felder. Barbosa, well-known striker with his kicks, like kickboxing background, well-known for his kicks. And Paul Felder is more of like a brawler. He'll stand and he'll bang with you.
Okay.
So this is another one, too.
So stand-up guys.
Yeah. 2 different styles, good matchup. This is actually the second time they fought. I think Barbosa won the first one. This was maybe
years ago?
2 years ago, I want to say.
So they both had fights in between, obviously.
Oh, yeah. A few fights in between.
Okay.
Another fight that went, man, it was good. Went to 3 rounds. It was very back and forth.
So no knock. Did they stand most of the time? Because the way you described these guys seem like they're straight stand-up guys.
Yeah, Barbosa's known for that. He throws like a crazy... Joe Rogan says like probably the best switch kick like in all of like combat sports.
Wow.
He says like even if you put him in there with a kickboxer.
What does that mean, switch kick?
So switch kick is like if I'm a right-handed fighter,
okay,
I'm going to throw with my
left
leg,
yeah, okay, that makes
typically.
sense.
So when you can switch to the other leg and throw
okay,
with your not so dominant leg.
But the same style of kick that you would throw with your dominant leg, it's not like a different... when you said switch, I didn't know if you literally just meant like other limb or some sort of...
Yeah, like you switch stance. So me, for example, I would be throwing like a right.
Yep.
If my switch kick would be from the left.
You would be standing with your right foot forward.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, okay, I know what you mean.
But he throws it like whoosh, just so quick and hits the body.
Okay, so he can swap back and forth.
Yeah.
And then he doesn't really have a dominant stance. Is that with his hands too? He does that, or more kicks?
His kicks are disgusting. Like, yeah, it's more with his kicks. Yeah.
Should watch a highlight video or something later.
I think he's one of the only guys with like a spinning head kick knockout in the UFC. So yeah, he's got some good ones. He's got a good highlight reel.
Yeah, no, that sounds sounds like it was pretty good.
But
pretty good.
Unfortunately, Barbosa, he didn't pick up the win here. Paul Felder got the win.
Okay.
But I was glad to see this guy win, man. He's a guy who he does the commentary a bit like Cormier.
Oh, really?
And some of the other guys. So he's been commentating on some fights. He does the UFC Tonight shows and things like that. So you kind of wonder if, he was going to be all in.
Sorry, what kind of records do these two guys have? Do you have them up? Does it show them there?
No, I don't have their exact records.
Okay, it's all. If you don't have it, it's all. I just figured it would be underneath their names on that list there, but
it should be.
It's all good.
But either way, Barbosa was ranked. He was ranked number 7 in the division. Felder's ranked number 10.
Okay,
so it's like
top 10.
It's a pretty important fight for both guys.
So you said Felder, the guy who won, was 10.
Yes.
So that means, does he probably go above? Does that mean he puts him into like 6 and the other guy drops down, or does he go to 7?
It's funny, man. The ranking system is so like wonky, and I don't know how often they...
Because if he doesn't jump that guy in the rankings, then that doesn't make much sense to me.
No, he definitely will. But like, I don't know. They were talking about it on the Rogan show, the Fight Companion, which I was watching.
Yeah. Get into that.
While I had the fights going on too. I don't know. The rankings aren't in order sometimes. Like they are, but I think you have like Conor's still ranked high in the lightweight division.
Oh.
And, he lost to Khabib, and before that,
he
hasn't fought since fucking...
What was his last UFC fight before Khabib? Nate Diaz? Or Nick, or whatever one he fought?
Nate Diaz, which was in like 2016, I believe.
And didn't he lose?
No, he won that one.
He
lost the first one.
He lost
the second one.
Okay, yeah.
And then he went off, fought Floyd, right?
Like, he did all that stuff.
Yeah. So it's weird. Like, he's still ranked super high. Like, I think he was ranked above Poirier, who's the guy who was fighting Khabib.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Shit.
it's weird. It's weird, man.
Yeah, that is weird.
And they say
we complain about wrestling rankings. Jeez.
Yeah.
We complain about wanting rankings in wrestling. Maybe we don't want rankings.
Yeah, maybe not. Not if they're going to be all,
Yeah, well, and they definitely would be.
Yeah.
But
Corbin.
Oh, Corbin, yeah. Fuck, I was thinking Kofi, but
Oh, Jesus. Yeah, we'll get to that. But anyway, I was saying I was watching the Joe Rogan Fight Companion show while I was watching the fights. So,
which you told me you don't get to do very often, so you're pretty high.
Yeah, if ever, really. I think I've done it like once before, and it was at your house after a pay-per-view watching like the tail end of some fights with me, you, and Jag.
Yeah, and we had the Fight Companion up too?
Yeah, we were trying to get it going on your laptop.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I think I remember that.
Yeah.
It's like inside post WWE pay-per-view.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So I had that going. I had it going like honestly the whole time up until the main event. Because when the main event started, I was like, no, I'm sorry. Like
you want to just watch the main event?
In.
See, really, I would have been more inclined to hear what Joe had to say about Khabib and these guys.
Yeah. After I listened to it after, and
Shit.
But I couldn't though, like, because I didn't want my judgment to be swayed by them and their excitement, because they're sitting there watching the fights, getting excited and getting right into it too.
But you don't. I see what you mean.
Sometimes it can, and then I got the commentary on the TV. I didn't want to mute the TV. I was like, let me just.
So Joe obviously wasn't there because it was in
Abu Dhabi.
Got you. So he only does the USA shows.
Yeah, typically.
The
the
ESPN.
odd time, I don't know. I don't even think he'll do Brazil anymore.
Okay, yeah, it's pretty much just like in the States.
Yeah.
Side note for Joe Rogan, he was talking about with that episode I was talking about with David St. Clair and the aging. He brought up Michael Bisping, and he was talking about the detached retina in his eye and if that's fixable and all this kind of stuff. And he said, like, shout out Michael Bisping. Like, it's pretty cool. I don't know.
Yeah, fucking shout out.
I actually knew the name, so I was excited because I'm like, hey, I know that guy.
Yeah, he's a vet.
Yeah.
Legend.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, no, I'll get to the main event here and then we'll move on. So Khabib versus Dustin Poirier to unify the 155.
Oh, see, I didn't even realize that. Is Dustin Poirier the interim?
Yes.
Or was the interim?
Yeah. It was so weird. We talk about this shit all the time, how weird it is with the interim titles and things.
Well, that's
like
the
that.
one thing. Well, maybe not the one thing, but that is one thing that WWE in wrestling does better, in my opinion, than UFC. And that's if you're fucking injured, you're done. There's no, you keep your title at your fucking hospital bed while the other guy gets the fake replica belt. It's very convoluted and confusing to me.
With them, it's like they like.
I just like that. Here we go. That's one more belt. There is no interim.
I don't like that they pick and choose when. Like, there's not an exact system to it. Like, they pick
6
and choose.
months and you drop it. Like, if you're gone for this amount of time, then you have to drop it. Or if it's shorter than this amount of time, then you have to drop it.
It's like they pick and choose when they're gonna, take the titles away or keep it on a guy. Like, for example, Tony Ferguson, he was an interim champion, and I'm not, gonna jump on the whole spiel of this, but it's like the guy fucked up his knee doing press for the UFC. They gave him the interim belt, then they took the interim belt away from him, made another interim belt with Khabib and shit. Like, it's just, there's no real system to it. It's fucking weird.
It is weird. I don't even know if you can answer this, and I don't want to put you on the spot.
Yeah.
How many interim UFC title belts are out there right now?
Woohoo! Okay, let's see. Right now, okay.
Just work your way down from heavyweight if that makes it easier.
Okay, well, heavyweight, we're good. We got that all cleared up. We got Stipe. Then we got John Jones has his belt. That's all cleared up. Then we would go to middleweight. So middleweight, we have an interim in Israel Adesanya, the style bender, and he's going to be fighting Robert Whittaker.
Okay.
Who you remember from Ultimate Fighter.
Yep.
So they're going to unify those. So we have...
He's the one that I didn't like or the one that I did like?
Yeah, he's the one you didn't like.
Okay, yes.
Yeah.
Of the two coaches.
Yes. So they're fighting soon. That's an interim. Then I go to Then we go to 170, and remember Colby Covington, the Make America Great.
Yep. He's got the old UFC belt.
Like, he was the interim champion, but they're saying that's not like that doesn't count. But he still walks around with it. So like, it's a weird dynamic, okay. And we don't even know what's going on.
So
with
who's the
guys.
actual champion? No one.
Kamaru Usman.
But is that because he beat? Like, how did Kamaru get that belt?
He beat. So this one's weird. This is what I'm talking about. It gets fucked.
Shit.
So
we don't need to go too deep if you don't want to.
Tyron Woodley was injured, couldn't fight. They did an interim title. Colby won it. Colby was injured, couldn't fight Woodley, so Woodley came back, defended the real title, lost it to Usman.
Oh.
Colby was still the interim champion, but they put the real title on the line. So what do you do with Colby over here?
So Colby never lost. So
Nope.
that's why he's walking around with that fucking belt.
Yeah.
That I get. That
Yeah,
I can understand.
Yeah.
I didn't realize that. So he's never lost it.
No.
They just kind of took it away, and then that makes no sense at all.
It's weird, man. That's what I'm saying.
So is he fighting that person who is the champion next? Is that the next fight?
See, that
Definitely
it's
should
interesting.
be.
They're trying to set it up, and there's been a lot of problems as far as like getting the fight made now. Hopefully, I hope they make this fight happen for December. Originally, I was aiming like... Look at me, I was aiming. Originally,
You were hoping.
I was hoping for this to take place on the November card, Madison Square Garden, stacked card. They always stack it, big fights. But I don't. That's not happening now. We got something else going on. So hopefully soon, you know. Yeah.
Well, it's cool. We got a little breakdown of the interim titles in the UFC.
Yeah, I'm not going to keep going down every division because
There's a lot there. There's
There's not as many right now, but
there has been.
So now, even in this situation, to me it's weird because you got Tony Ferguson still walk around with his interim title too. Like I'm sure when him and Khabib come to fight, he'll bring his belt and Khabib will bring his, because Tony never lost his interim title.
That's so weird,
They
man.
took it away from him.
Like think about. I don't want to spend too much time, but if that was done in wrestling, like we'd be sitting here going,
What the fuck?
"Who's the champ?" And what? Wait, Randy was the champ, but he never lost, and now AJ's the champ, but Randy still like it would be.
I'd be okay with it, like maybe once in a while for like a cool storyline, like
Exactly.
some Shawn Michaels, Razor Ramon type shit.
Totally.
But, like,
Yeah.
that's about it.
Or CM Punk, John Cena, when there's two belts, that give you a reason to have two belts. No, I totally know what you mean, and I just said totally twice. We got to work on that. I need a buzzer every time I say it.
But back to the fight here, I'll get to.
Yeah.
So yeah, Khabib and Poirier, Abu Dhabi, big fight. Fucking Khabib being Khabib, man. Though, like
Shout out to our boy Blair Beckett. I just had to say that.
Yeah, I was talking with him a little bit
Did
before
you?
the fight too, because I seen he said that. I was like, yeah, man.
Well, I told you that's how I texted him, because I seen his little thing about, I'm gonna watch so and so beat up Khabib, and I just sent the little crying emoji, like just laughing at him. I guess I don't know. I was just being funny, and I hadn't seen the fight. I forgot that it was midday, like you said.
Yeah.
So he just sends me back, "Fuck you," and I'm like, "What was that for, buddy?" Like I thought we were buddies here. I don't know. I thought he was just fucking around, which he was, but I didn't know why.
Yeah.
And it was because I found out later that obviously our boy, Khabib,
Took the fight, yeah, man.
got the win. He got the choke in, right? That's how he finished it off.
Yes, with that vicious ground and pound, man.
But he was in a choke for a bit too, no?
He was. There was a moment there. Okay, so I'll go through it quick. So
Yeah.
in round one, Khabib got the better of Poirier. Like they stood for a little bit. Khabib got him down, started doing it. Had him there. Was feeding him punches with the ground and pound, and then he took a page out of Daniel Cormier's book, which I love, and it's a real dirty move, like real gritty move, I want to say. Like he was putting his hand over Poirier's like mouth and nose, like, so it's hard to breathe.
Can you do that?
Yeah, you can do that. Yeah, Cormier does that like too, because he'll take
You
guys
can cover motherfuckers' mouths.
down. Oh yeah,
and
and go out. Yeah, because then they're trying to defend their body and trying to remove that and having a hard time breathing, and the air is different out in fucking Abu Dhabi anyways. It's hot enough in this fucking bitch. So.
yeah, I can imagine. I know a little bit about Abu Dhabi from F1. But,
Yeah.
But
So, yeah, man.
I didn't know you could do that. That's fucking crazy
I
to
know,
me that
yeah.
you can cover somebody. Like, can you plug their nose? No.
He was basically doing that, man. He was like
Hand over the
hand
face.
over the face, yeah.
Wow.
Feeding him shots.
Dirtiest player in the game. Fuck.
Yeah. Shout out to
Yeah.
Daniel Cormier for that one.
Yeah, I don't. There it is.
But to beat a man, you gotta beat the man.
Right?
That's right. That's fucking right.
We can maybe talk about that
Oh yeah.
later. And Ric Flair, shut the fuck up, Rick. Like, I love you, but come on.
So and then we had round two. There was a moment of scares for Khabib because that's where he got rocked. Like Poirier hit him with
okay.
some good shots, and I was like, "Oh fuck, is this
Here
gonna
we go.
happen?"
Because you're not a big Khabib fan.
I'm not the biggest Khabib fan. We'll
No.
say that. No, I'm not.
You weren't exactly cheering for him to win this one.
I
I don't think you cared, actually, now that I think of it. You just want him to fight your boy Tony, and then that's when
yeah, like
the gloves come off.
I wasn't cheering for Khabib to win. Like if he lost, I would have been okay with it. But at the same time, I want him to win because him and Tony, that's the fight. Like that's the big one.
That's what everyone keeps talking about, too.
Yeah.
The same guys that I was talking about with UFC on Monday when we were watching Raw, they said the same thing. They were talking about that Tony Ferguson fight. So I had told them that you were
man,
hyped for that as well.
Round 3 though is where it all ended for Mr. Poirier, because he actually was. You're right. Like, so he got in this position where he almost had a choke on Khabib, and he locked it in, and I think he was going for it so hard, using like so much arm strength, like trying to get it,
that he
wore himself out. Like he literally it was like right after that when Khabib got out, Khabib kind of pummeled him a bit and took him.
And then got him in rear naked choke and pulled him down and knock him out, or not? Sorry, did he tap or did he pass out?
Yeah, he tapped.
He tapped.
Yeah,
okay. Just like Shane McMahon on SmackDown Live.
Yeah, man.
But yeah, overall, it was a good UFC show. You enjoyed it all?
Yeah, it was good. I enjoyed the fact that it was midday. That was a nice change.
It's funny. I thought you were going to say that.
Yeah, so that was cool. And ultimately, there's people, I seen UFC post a fucking thing of who should Khabib fight next? Fucking Conor or Tony or GSP. And it's like, no. I even commented, I'm like, nobody, I love everyone there. I love all those guys.
Yeah.
But Tony's the fucking number one. Like, let's just do this already.
What about McGregor saying book it for Moscow?
No, he's just fucking, I'm sure he would take it, but Khabib and them aren't going to make that fight. And the UFC, I wouldn't want to see that, man. I don't want to see that fight.
Them fight again?
No, not now. Like, I want Conor to go and win a fight, and then
against somebody else.
Yeah, like there's a fight this weekend on ESPN card, I believe it is. Donald Cerrone versus Justin Gaethje. Those guys are in this division. Those guys are going to slug it out. I feel like Conor should fight the winner of that fight, or Conor could even fight Poirier, who just lost to Khabib. Like, he needs to fight somebody else,
get a win, and come back and then fight Khabib.
Then we can talk.
Jesus, I'm so bad with the names.
Tony?
Yeah,
Tony
or
Ferguson?
he could fight Tony if...
No, but Tony needs this. No, Tony should get the shot.
No. I mean, if Conor went and won a fight and Khabib and Tony do their thing and Tony wins...
Yeah, totally.
Well, then you're going to get Conor-Tony, not Conor-Khabib.
But I think even then we might still want Conor-Khabib just because of the heat. If let's say Tony won the belt, I feel like they might still push for Conor-Khabib non-title.
You're going to have to show me a picture of this Tony Ferguson guy, because I'm picturing, and I don't feel like... He has the name of somebody that's so much bigger than these guys. Like, when I hear the name Tony Ferguson, he sounds like he's a heavyweight.
And he's bigged up now. Like, you hear a lot about him. Like, he's
for sure.
He's mythical.
I don't even know if he's white or black or Indian. I have no idea.
Mexican American.
See, there you go. Yeah. I wouldn't have even... I didn't know. I was picturing to look like Tony Atlas. That's what I was picturing. This is why I say I can't picture a name like that, Tony Ferguson, to be in that lower, smaller weight class.
No, he's a bad motherfucker.
I can't wait to watch some of this guy's fights. So,
sidebar, when Brock Lesnar coached the Ultimate Fighter and Tony Ferguson won, he was coached by Brock. He was on Brock's team Brock.
I feel like we've probably talked about this and I forgot, and we've talked about my memory on the show, but I don't remember Brock doing a Ultimate Fighter.
Yeah,
I feel like I would have liked to watch that whenever. Like, I want to go on YouTube and watch some of the him talking to fighters, and I feel like he's not. Like, I always liked him in UFC, but like, if I was a UFC fighter, I wouldn't necessarily want him as my coach.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, he's good, but I don't think he's meticulous. He's just powerful and
I would maybe want like
really good wrestler.
I would say like his wrestling background would be knowledgeable and probably pretty good in that sense.
But like
from his college days and shit.
Totally, yes, completely. But I just don't know if I'd want to be taking. I don't want to bash Brock Lesnar.
Yeah,
he's
no.
an animal. No. But you know what I mean?
And in all fairness, on the Ultimate Fighter, it's not like whoever, Khabib, whoever the coach is, they're not always just hands-on. Like, they bring their coaches. And it's like it's for the show. It's a team effort, yeah.
And it's for the TV to kind of have a representative from each of the groups.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
But that's the fight we want to see, man. So, 242 wrapped up, but we want Khabib and Tony next. That's what we want.
This one, you don't have to answer this if you don't want, because this is putting you on the spot quite a bit, but I wrote this down in the middle of the week when I was taking my notes for the show. Do you have a favorite or a greatest UFC fight of all time? Not even necessarily like the one that is regarded as the best by fans and critics alike, but more just something that
I've watched in the...
Not even just one that pops into your head. Like, what's the first... There's obviously a few fights that are flashing through your head right now.
Yeah.
As I say that, but what kind of ones... Like, does it go back to Forrest Griffin in the early days of The Ultimate Fighter? And that, because I know that's one of the fights people always talk about as being one of the greatest UFC fights of all time. Or is it Matt Serra and GSP? Or is it...
No, for me, it's more like something I've probably experienced like live.
Live. Oh, I guess you didn't watch that stuff live. My bad.
No, not as no.
Again, you don't
probably. There's one that stands out. I don't know if this is like my top one, but it'll be in there for me for sure. It was Robbie Lawler and Rory McDonald, and it was for the welterweight title. Yes, he is. Yeah, he trains with George.
Yeah, Rory McDonald. I know that name.
And that was a fucking war.
Robbie Lawler, Rory McDonald.
Yeah, for the welterweight title.
Check it out.
Fight. Yeah, can't remember which UFC it was, but fucking crazy.
Go check it out. Robbie Lawler and Rory McDonald. I don't know. I think
any Jones fight, man. Like,
oh really?
Of his earlier stuff.
Don's one of these guys with the John Jones.
Any of Jones's shit, man. I like, dude. I like it.
It's okay, man. It was more just I figured like you've seen enough fights that there must be something that we can at least recommend to.
Kane Jr. 3. That fight was
Cain Velasquez and Junior Dos Santos.
Number 3. That was fucking wild. Like, that was one of the craziest fights I've ever seen.
And they fought 3 times.
Yeah,
like over the course of their whole careers.
Yeah,
because obviously not near the end.
Yeah, over the course. Yeah,
you know what I mean.
Yeah, the first one. I want to say. Kane won the first one. That's where he first won the title, and then the second one is when he got knocked out super quick, and then the third one was a fucking bloody war.
I see.
Yeah.
One more thing before we move on. What's the next big UFC show that we should be covering on the roundtable?
The next big one is going to be, I believe, in Melbourne, Australia.
And is that going to be 243, or are we going to kind of skip that one and whatever's?
Yeah, that's 243.
Okay.
October 5th, Robert Whittaker and Israel Adesanya for the middleweight title.
Is the main event.
Yeah, man.
Cool. So that should be good. Stay tuned for that. And next time we do the UFC talk on the roundtable, maybe the Dawn Hour, maybe not.
We'll try and get someone in here too.
Yeah, and discuss a little bit about that. But yeah, there's the UFC stuff. Should we get to it, Don?
The Clash.
The Clash of the Champions.
Are we clashing here?
Well...
No, I just feel like we got some good shit to talk about from like earlier in the week too.
We definitely do. I got a question though.
Yeah.
Kofi or Seth?
Fuck, you holding a gun to my head?
This is what I wrote on the paper before we hit record, by the way. When you saw me jot something down moments before we hit record.
Dragula? Like, I don't know. Like, can I pick someone? No,
that's exactly why I picked it, is because I know. And you know what made me get to this? So, I don't know if anybody has Xbox or plays video games or has heard of the game Brawlhalla.
Okay.
But this is kind of like a Super Smash Brothers ripoff, basically. And it's just like little made-up characters. You fight sideways, and it's like Super Smash Brothers with made-up little characters. So, I seen that they collaborated with WWE today. And I see Brawlhalla WWE.
Oh, no.
And I'm like, well, that's kind of cool.
Yeah.
And I look at the picture, and I see John Cena, The Rock, Kofi Kingston, and Becky Lynch. And I was like, And I was about to ask you before we hit record. I was like, would you rather have Kofi there or Seth? Because I was thinking, he'll probably be happy because Seth's not there. But then I was like, oh, wait. I don't know if he likes Kofi more than Seth. I don't know. So who would you choose in this Brawlhalla? Which, if we're going to take John Cena, The Rock, and Becky Lynch, and it's got to be one of your other champions, because it's not, no offense to Bayley, but it's not going to be Bayley.
Yeah.
So it's Becky, and then it's Kofi. Would you put Kofi or would you put Seth?
Well, I mean, Kofi's the WWE champion, so if I'm going by that,
good answer.
I would want to see the WWE champion on there.
Yep. Seth is the king of the red belts.
King of the red belts. The Slayer.
The Slayer of all everything.
Things.
Beasts. Kings.
But I thought you were asking me who I liked better too. Was that or
kind
like
of.
right now too?
It's just who you like. Well, I assume that whoever you like better is the person that you would be choosing to put on that little Brawlhalla video game thing that I'm talking about here. And it's I just wanted to use that as an example because it was so.
Yeah.
Well, why isn't Seth on there? Maybe they didn't want to put the power couple on.
Well, that's what I was thinking too, right? Maybe not.
Because they're together?
Couple. Yeah.
And they just got married or they're getting married.
Yeah. If we want to get into the nitty gritty of that shit though, like it should probably just be, maybe it should be those champions or top, like I don't know. I get it. Cena recognition, Rock recognition. Like I get it.
It's a different generational. You got to get those, and they're more prominent on the picture too. I can show you later. But
as like you and our listeners probably know, I'm not like huge on either one of them right now.
Yeah, so no, that's exactly why I asked you this question. If you were big on both of them, I probably wouldn't. It's not as much of a talking point, but it's
I like Seth better
than Kofi.
Yeah,
really.
Like even right now, if I had to pick, like I still would rock with Seth over Kofi. And Seth said something this week, which made me be like, "Good on you, man."
Give me what I want.
Was it that?
No, but he called himself a wrestler and not a sports entertainer.
Oh, he said that.
I noticed that in his promo. It was something that I noticed, and I like made a note of it on my phone. I was like, I'm going to talk about this because I don't want to forget it, because I feel like even 2 years ago, guys didn't do that in promos. And I'm not saying that he's, fucking changing the game, but I just feel like where things are heading now have been getting better. And I feel like that's a little thing, attention to detail, too. He said that. He said, I'm the best wrestler on the planet when he was talking to Braun.
Yeah, not I'm the best sports entertainer.
I'm the best sports entertainer.
Because that shit bugs me now more than I think ever. The sports entertainer thing. It never used to bug me, especially when I want to say like the tail end of when I was watching wrestling back in 2008. I really liked that. I liked that it was like, oh, it's sports entertainment. That's that's its own little. But now I don't like it because you can't say that to somebody that doesn't watch wrestling. Yeah. You can't walk up to somebody and be like, yeah, I watch sports entertainment. We got a sports entertainment podcast. Like, it's the sports entertainment look back. You know what I mean? It's just not, and right there. Yeah. If we made a show called the Sports Entertainment Look Back, I don't think people look at that and think, oh, those guys talk pro wrestling. Yeah. No, you know what I mean? And I get that, like, I don't know if there's anybody that has a problem with, but pro wrestling isn't professional wrestling. But that's the name. Amateur wrestling is, like, it's, you know what I mean? Yeah, yeah. Because it's not like WWE is the pros of amateur wrestling. It's professional wrestling. That's the name. That's been the name forever. So that's kind of the way it should be. But yeah, I don't know. It's something that it stood out to me, and I made a note of it. I was like, that was good, man. I was like, okay, I'm not a huge fan of you right now, but like the fact that you did that was fucking cool. Because like, I honestly, man, I can't think of an exact pinpoint guy, but if we go back even like a year or two ago, like I feel like if there was a main event promo and this same conversation was to come up, they're either avoiding it, or they're just not saying it. Like they're not. No, I haven't heard guys say that in recent memory. I'm the best wrestler. No. It's like taboo in fucking WWE. You can't don't do that. Don't use that word. You're not allowed to say wrestler. Even on comment, like, you know what I mean. So, I didn't pick up on it. It's probably because there was more people watching Raw than normal. But yeah, definitely worth bringing up, bro, because it's not something that I picked up on, and it's worth it. But do you want to start with the main event stuff, or do you want to go the other way? How do you want to? Well, let's go the other way. Really? Yeah. Oh, okay. I was not expecting you to say that. Number one. What's number one, the biggest fucking match of the night? So you want to start from the main event down, or you want to start with the first match and go up? No, that match on the list. I was just having fun. Oh, fuck. Well, just for anybody, if they want to Google it themselves, go check out Wikipedia Clash of Champions 2019. And the number one match on here listed is Bayley versus Charlotte. I wasn't going to go in that order, but we can if you want. Sure. Yeah? Sure. Okay. All right. Bayley versus Charlotte. I don't have much to say about this, man. All I can say is it's just I'm sick of Charlotte. Like, I'm starting to honestly get to the Roman Reigns level of, like, unless this has something to do with the 4 Horsemen thing that they teased on Raw this week, which, again, why the fuck was that on Raw? Like, I know we're at MSG and it's a big deal and we want to make it a big deal for the New York fans and with the fact we haven't been at MSG in forever, but I feel like that tag team match is a match that could have been built up for fucking 4 months. I was going to say that too. In watching it, I was like, why is this happening right now? I wrote it in my notes. Like, why? I get that it's MSG. Yeah. Because I get that. But why on Raw? Like, this should be on a pay-per-view at the bare minimum. Yeah. If not WrestleMania, or maybe not there. But you know what I mean? Yeah. A big pay-per-view. It was good that they gave them time, I guess. They did get a lot of time on Raw. But at the same time, like, that was literally the first thing I thought. I'm like, why shoot your load on this now? You know what I mean? You can save this and do this at a pay-per-view. Make it a bigger deal. Yeah, no, totally. There we go again. Fucking totally. What about Charlotte and Bayley? Are you excited for this? I don't know why it's listed as the number one match on the card. Cause maybe it'll be early in the night, I feel like they're going to... that order shit is always just whatever. Oh, right? It is. Yeah. Totally. Totally.
Yeah,
Too many fucking times today.
Totally
But no, I think they'll probably gonna end up opening with the Becky thing. That seems to be the way that they've been doing shit lately. Is the Becky music to kind of open the show. She opened SummerSlam, did she not?
Yeah, but that's a big match, like to open with.
Her and Sasha?
Like I'd rather see that later.
So would I, but I don't want to see it in the middle of the card. And it's not going to it could main event. It should main event. Realistically, it's the biggest thing happening in WWE right now. But they don't do that. They only main it. What?
And I'm not even like super huge, but Braun and Seth feels pretty big to me.
It does, but it doesn't feel bigger than Sasha's return and everything that's happened with Sasha. It feels bigger because it's the Universal
the way that
Championship.
We get to
and it's the two belts. But I don't think we had any kind of reactions to that storyline the way we've had reactions to Sasha Banks.
No. Yeah.
And not even just her debut in Toronto. I mean, everything. The interview the next week.
The promos, the
Bailey turning or whatever she did.
Yeah. As far as this match goes, I wanted to ask you something too, like before I just get into it quick. Do you feel like they've kind of, like WWE has kind of put themselves in a weird position with the women? Because it seems like it's just everything revolves around like these four.
Oh, yeah.
And like, it's like, there's no, like, what are they going to do after? Because like, like there's no other top tier
women
because they're not built.
They tried with Lacey, but then they kind of, didn't really.
Yeah.
No, I hear you.
You know what I mean? Like,
I think they're trying to focus on the tag team stuff right now. Like with Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross, two people that could be single stars in the tag team division.
Yeah. I
mean, Peyton Royce and Billie Kay are kind of doing their own thing for now.
Mm-hmm.
I will get to it, but I think the Fire and Desire are the fucking worst name in WWE. I think they're going to maybe win the titles. Because I think they want to get the titles on them and give them a run and have these belts have some lineage.
Okay. Yeah.
I want them. I think they want to be able to post that picture that shows, the past champions, just like they do with the Universal title, and they can throw Goldberg in there and Brock Lesnar and Kevin Owens, Finn Balor, and it's like, oh, maybe this title actually has been around longer than I thought. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I think that's what they're kind of going with there. But I don't want to spend too much on each of these matches because this isn't the LookBack show, but or the Look Forward show. Prediction: Bailey, Charlotte.
I'm not super excited about this. I think Bailey's going to retain her title.
Do you have any clean?
I think that. Let me see. Okay, so this match probably won't open, but it'll be somewhere. It might even be after the Sasha Becky shit. So
if Sasha wins, the title, you're thinking maybe she'll come out there and help Bailey keep her title, and then they can both be champions again.
Yeah.
Of Raw and SmackDown.
Yeah, but I don't think Sasha's winning. But that's another time. She'll help Bailey though. That's what I think.
That's what I was gonna say. Sasha will finagle her way into there somehow and make sure that Bailey wins.
Yeah.
Yeah, I totally agree with that as well. That's exactly what I was gonna say.
Yeah.
We might as well keep it even keel. How about Becky Lynch and Sasha, since we've already talked a little bit about it?
Looking forward to this one, I can tell you that much.
Fuck yeah, I'm the most excited for this. If not, I know I wasn't hyping it up in the sense that I didn't think it should have been the main event, but the whole defending the belts and then fighting for a belt thing with Seth and Braun, I think that's fucking awesome.
Yeah.
The fact that it's never been done before, it's original. But I still think that this Becky-Sasha thing should have probably main evented the show. Just because it's a singles match, it's focused on them. But again, I know you're big on having the Universal or the WWE title be the final match of the card. So I think that's what we're going to get.
Yeah. I'm excited to see what they do together because I don't know, have they ever had a one-on-one program on the main dance? I don't think so, right?
I don't know.
Maybe a one NXT match or something like that.
And even still, that would have been a long time ago, and it would have been a different Becky Lynch, that's for sure.
So I'm very curious. I'm excited to see this match. I think it'll be a good match, and I think it's almost too quick for Sasha to just come in and the attacks on Becky and everything like that. I think Becky's going to retain her title in some form or fashion here.
Did you see this picture I'm pulling up now? I can maybe repost it on our story. Becky Lynch posted a picture of the first time that she won the championship and then her current reign now. Doesn't that look like two completely different fucking wrestlers?
Yeah, I was going to say it's crazy how much her hair has changed and I haven't really noticed it like that much.
Same. That was the one thing I noticed in the picture too is I'm assuming that her hair now is more of like her current or natural
Yeah.
red, whereas back then it was like the whole, she was the fire, whatever, straight fire, wasn't that like her thing?
Yeah.
But yeah, she posted a thing 3 years ago today. I won my first title, and I felt like apologizing for it. Since then, I stood up, grown up, straightened my spine, and changed the whole damn business, and I apologized for none of it. So I was just like, that's sick. And like, it was just crazy because I'm a huge Becky Lynch fan now, obviously, like, and I've been with her since before the whole thing blew up, but I wasn't with her back then. And I remember when she won that championship, and I remember thinking, I feel like they kind of just gave it to her because it was this, especially at that point, SmackDown wasn't quite the show that it became.
Yeah.
I think in the last 3-4 years. And I remember, I think it was Alexa Bliss that won the title from Becky in a tables match, and she powerbombed her through the table. It was just very underwhelming, her whole title run, that first Becky Lynch title run. So I don't know, not that that has anything to do with this match, but I agree with you in the sense I don't think it's, obviously I don't want it to be time for Becky to lose the belt yet because I'm a big fan too, but I don't think it is time that they're going to switch it. I think this will continue maybe even into Survivor Series.
Yeah.
Whether that's the next, I'm sure we'll have Hell in a Cell in October. Maybe we'll get another
Women's Hell in a Cell.
Not only that, I was thinking maybe we'll get more of this 4 horsewomen stuff.
Yeah.
Like another tag team match like we talked about, but this time built up to a pay-per-view.
Yeah. Where
Sasha and Bayley and then maybe Charlotte and Becky have to kind of join forces to beat them this time. I don't know. Maybe they've lost their titles and Sasha and Bayley have both belts, and you know what I mean? I don't know. Something along those lines, but I'm going to go with the Becky prediction again. Yeah,
I would be very surprised if Sasha wins the belt, but either way, I'm looking forward to that match for sure.
Yeah. How about Roman Reigns and Eric Rowan?
Oh, Mr. Rowan. Yeah, we haven't really talked about this, eh? Not even like on our little off pods.
No, I just hate it. I really hate it because I was excited. Like it was something. It was like, oh, this is a cool storyline that's carrying on from week to week, and then eventually it got to the point where nothing was happening. Every week we were in Toronto for a whole fucking weekend, and the only thing that happened was we threw Buddy Murphy around a room, and we see a video of somebody that is clearly, I mean, in no one's eyes can you tell that that's Rowan. And then Daniel Bryan freaks out that it is Rowan, and everybody assumes, oh, it is Rowan. It's clearly him. Well, no, it's not clearly him. First of all, you can't even see that it is him. So that pissed me off. And then they just stopped caring about this storyline and didn't do anything for like a whole week. And then on top of all that, let's put this in the main event for no fucking reason.
Main event.
Every week of Raw and SmackDown
yeah.
ended the show with one of these little... It's like, why? Why is this the main event? It's not even like... It's not like, oh, this... It's because X should be main event. No, it's not. Because something else better was on the show that wasn't in the main event. It's because this doesn't make any sense to be the final thing on the show unless it's just for the cliffhanger.
It's Roman. That's why. That's literally, that's why.
No, it's I think I answered my own question a little bit too, because it is Roman, but it's probably because of the
cliffhanger.
The cliffhanger fact. The cliffhanger doesn't do quite as much justice when you do it in the middle of the show. But to me, it's just pointless. Like, this is a waste of a match on the card.
Yeah.
Like, Roman's winning. Like, come on.
It was weird. It's turned out weird the way it's unfolded, and now to be led into this match here.
Oh yeah, and if it wouldn't be a roundtable if I didn't bring him up, but let me bring up the Wade Kellerism.
Yeah.
And how does it make any sense that this man tried to kill this man?
Mm-hmm.
Kill him. Literally kill him.
Mm-hmm.
And by getting back at him, Roman's going to pin his shoulders to the ground for 3 seconds.
Well, the one thing I did see to play counterpoint, I know it's a no DQ match, so
fair.
Anything goes, really. So Roman could do whatever he wants, really.
I think like when somebody tries to kill you, I don't think having a wrestling match is like ample getting back at them. Do you know what I mean? I think you go to the police. Like, it's just very...
Well, he's gonna fuck him up. Like, no? Isn't that...
I don't... For me, it doesn't make sense. Like, if somebody tried to kill me, like, I don't...
Maybe he'll try and kill him.
Have him a wrestling match with him.
You know?
I hear what you're saying.
No,
I just don't
I'm going to bring it back to Austin and Triple H from like 2001 or 2 when Austin got run over by the car. You know, they tried to kill him. They were trying to kill him, right? Trying to take him out. And what it led to was them having a wrestling match, but it was also a no DQ match. But the way it ended, Austin tried to dish it back out. As far as, he put him on a fucking forklift and dropped him out of a car and all this craziness. Shit. So like,
I just think it's too much.
It's not
me personally.
It's not just I know, but I'm trying to play the advocate for the.
I just don't tune into professional wrestling to watch attempted murder. Do you know what I mean? Like they're just two different. I can suspend my disbelief so much.
Yeah.
To the point where it's that's not what I'm here for. I guess it's like, again, this is me and how I feel about it.
But that kind of shit's been in wrestling forever. Like and we like the fact of the storyline, that kind of a storyline coming back. No,
I liked that it was carrying over week to week to week and all that stuff. That I liked, and the cliffhangers. But it's similar to like, what match was it when somebody pulled out a fucking chainsaw? And it's like, you're not using a chainsaw. You know what I mean? Like, that kind of stuff takes me out of it because it's so past the point of. Like, I think the farthest I can go is Triple H's sledgehammer.
Mm-hmm.
Because at that point, like, first of all, what are you going to kill him in the ring with that sledgehammer? You're going to fucking literally hit him in the head. So that's where, like, anything past that as far as, like, craziness goes and, like, murder, I don't know. It's just tough for me to... This started with a Wade thing and turned more into my own...
I don't read into it too much, though. It's just... To me, it's like, it's wrestling.
Yeah.
It's,
I hear you. Either way, I don't care about the finish because I feel like it's going to be Roman unless Daniel Bryan comes out and screws him, and then it's like I don't know. I don't want to spend.
Yeah. No, I think I don't know. Unless like we get a Luke Harper or something involved in this, or more with Daniel Bryan maybe in some way, Roman will probably just get his revenge, and it's weird. It's a weird storyline. I enjoyed Eric Rowan, his talk though, his promo. Like, I didn't think he was too bad. I thought it was pretty good, actually.
I thought it was actually really good, and I'm happy you brought that up because I have my SmackDown and my Raw kind of stuff separate here. But that was
like a week before, right?
No, but it was amazing.
Yeah, and
I had never seen him cut promos like that, and he actually did a pretty good job.
Yeah, and
that's what I mean. It's not like they've done. It's just the I just don't find justification in that. A pin being, like you said, like redemption.
Yeah,
like. Would you feel redeemed if I tried to murder you and then you beat me in a wrestling match?
No, but then this is why I bring up the no DQ point of it, is because, like, and I don't even think they don't pay enough attention to something like this to do that, I think, is that, like, if Roman tries to beat the living fuck out of him and doesn't even care about getting a pin, he just grabs whatever chair and just beats him, takes him backstage, runs into the crowd, punches, like, just beats the fuck out of him.
And then leaves.
Yeah.
That I'd be down
with. Then, cool. Because, like, the Austin situation, that's what it led to. Like, the match never ended.
Okay, perfect. Okay, you should have said that earlier because I didn't realize that. It's the pin for me.
Yeah.
That it's like a pin doesn't redeem attempted murder.
Yeah.
That's all I'm getting at.
And that's why I said, like, I like the fact that it's no DQ. Like, I seen that they specified that.
Because they can now do something like that.
Yeah.
They don't have to be in the ring counts and rope breaks.
Lock up and 1, 2, 3. Fuck, we don't want to see that. And we've talked about this on many shows, how...
With other feuds, how matches should start with... Yes, I know what you mean.
Yeah. So, yeah, we'll see, I guess. It is weird that it got shoehorned in, though, because...
To me, it's just so, like, like, Eric's not winning. You know what I mean? Unless it's something like you said, like an Eric or a Luke Harper coming from out of left field.
Yeah.
I'd like to know what Roman Reigns' pay-per-view record is, because I bet you it's fucking incredible. We're kind of jumping all over, but I like it. AJ Styles, Cedric Alexander, United States Championship.
Speaking of fucking shoehorns, eh?
What did I tell you? We talked about this before it was official on the phone. I'm like, yeah, this is going to be at the pay-per-view now because they have a reason to give Cedric a title shot. He beat AJ twice in one night. Mm-hmm. Technically twice. Yeah. So, you know what? It's better than if they just actually shoehorned it in there.
Yeah.
So it's like, yes, it's kind of like quick and AJ's probably going to win and it's just a match, but it's like at least we have a reason as to why, like, if there was a ranking system, Cedric would have went up in the rankings on Monday by beating the United States champion twice. So I like that. I just think it's one of those things where AJ will probably win clean. They'll have a good match, and it's a guarantee that WWE doesn't really have to spend too much time worrying about because they've got Cedric and they know AJ can have a match with an eraser.
Yeah.
And I've been saying broomstick. I don't know why I said eraser this time. But
I'm weird with it. I don't want to say like I'm upset that it was like shoehorned in, because like I feel like these guys probably got some good, good chemistry going. And I think it's just the fact, but like I said, I'm super weird with it. Sometimes I like certain matches to be shoehorned in if I'm really maybe excited about them.
yeah.
But it's almost like the no build factor is where I'm kind of like, I'm not crazy about it, but I'll still probably enjoy it.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess it goes back to the week even previously where they beat him. Didn't they beat him down?
I think they did.
Before his King of the Ring match or something? Too?
Yeah. He came and yeah.
So when I think about it like that, I was like, okay, at least there's a little bit of time in there. But, you only have so much time in a month to build to something anyway. So.
And I think they had to get it on there because of the Clash of Champions and stuff we talked about, and every title has to be on the line.
But see that they don't. You know what I mean?
I feel like this isn't.
I know. I don't want it to get into a big thing about that, but
it's not that. It's just from my recollection, and I don't want to spend too much time looking shit up. Is the only reason I said that is from my recollection. I feel like they've definitely made it clear that it's Night of Champions. Even when they have the graphic and they've got like the old championships. Remember we talked about that last year?
Yeah.
It seems like it's something that they're letting everybody know that every title has to be on the line. And like, why else would Seth and Braun have to defend their titles? You know what I mean? If they're already fighting each other.
It's just that it wasn't really. I don't know. I get it. I'm being nitpicky about it.
You just feel like it wasn't
it wasn't
in
like
your face enough to let you know, like, hey, this is every title on the line. This is Night of Champions.
That's what they used to say. Where Night of Champions, where every title must be defended.
That was like the tag.
That was like for a few of them.
I know what you mean.
And I'm not saying that that's what I want, but it's just like
specify.
I didn't necessarily know that going in. I didn't know that. Am I just assume?
Yeah, no, I think they, whether they should or they shouldn't, I don't know. But I think they assume now that we know when we see that title or that pay-per-view name, every title is on the line.
Honestly, though, that kind of bothers me about this pay-per-view too. Like,
because No,
I just think it's weird that they took this, they changed the name and used the old WCW name, but kept the same style of the other one. That's like if we changed Money in the Bank to fucking. I don't know, bank account. We're going to call it bank account now, and it just looks the same as Money in the Bank. And it's the same concept.
But didn't they, and this isn't me trying to justify, I'm just curious, wasn't the WCW Clash of the Champions? I swear that they took out the.
Maybe.
When it was new 2 years, I would bet you my paycheck that they took it, and when they brought it back, it was just Clash of Champions.
Yeah.
Rather than Clash of the Champions.
What is it now?
Now it's just Clash of Champions.
Yeah, isn't that what the WCW one was all those years?
It was Clash of the Champions. I just remember they made a big deal about it when they got the rights or whatever it was, and they decided they wanted to bring it back. Because it's Vince, bro. He's got to make sure that it's a little bit his, too. It's not fully somebody else's.
I would just rather a new, I get it.
I don't want new. Look. How about we get the old names back? Let's bring back.
No, I mean a new look.
Oh, yeah.
Like if we're using this Halloween Havoc, whatever.
Yeah.
Like just give me that. Like don't give me Halloween Havoc at Hell in a Cell with the Hell in a Cell graphics,
That's a better
what I'm
example.
saying. Like,
that's a way better example. Because we definitely, we could get that. But we know Vince, right? Like,
yeah, man.
That's my album. It's by myself, solo.
Does what he wants.
That's right.
So we learn. Yeah, you have a prediction for me, AJ Styles, Cedric?
I'm
gonna. Safe to say.
It's safe to say, AJ. But hey, man,
do the boys
give me a shocker? I don't give a fuck. Honestly,
that would be a shocker. Do the boys get involved though?
Probably, yeah. AJ's not winning. Yeah, he's gonna heal it up.
That's what I think too. I think AJ will win, but it won't be clean.
Yeah.
Moving on, Alexa Bliss, Nikki Cross versus Mandy Rose, and Sonya Deville. She gets better looking every week, and I know we all know this. Anybody listening? But holy shit, Mandy.
Okay.
Like she's at this point, she looks like a creation of
create a wrestler.
Yeah, yeah, all the assets. But no, I hate this team name. I talked about it last two weeks, I think. Fire, and they used it for a while. Like they had been saying the name, but now they're really using it. Like they don't even really say Sonya and Mandy. They kind of just say Fire and Desire and the fucking porno music with the trippy fucking whatever it says it on the screen, Fire and Desire in some weird font.
Oh, okay.
But Yeah, no, not my favorite name. Probably one of the worst in WWE right now, I would say, as far as a team name goes. But I like both of these wrestlers. Mandy's come in, like, it's crazy to see how far she's come, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Like, from being just a little hot chick that was on Tough Enough to being, like, she looks like a WWE superstar.
I feel
she wrestles like a Trish Stratus or something. Like, she's good. I genuinely think she's a good wrestler, and she's going to be something as long as she just stays on that path and doesn't turn into like an Eva Marie or something and go do, that's not a diss. Eva Marie's doing her own thing very successfully outside of WWE, but that's what I meant, like doing something outside of WWE.
Yeah, no, I feel she's definitely gotten a lot better too since the early
For sure.
NXT stuff, even like.
And I think, was it me and you or me and Will? I don't know, but we talked about Sonya Deville, and I kind of like how they've stepped back a little bit from the whole UFC.
Yeah, we've talked about
MMA
that a little bit. Yeah.
Fighter thing, and she's kind of, I don't really know what her gimmick would be now. She's still tough chick, but she's more like hot tough chick rather than like butchy fighter cornrows tough chick. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know. I like it, but I'm gonna go out on a limb here, man, and I think this is gonna be the first title change of the night. Maybe one of the only title changes of the night. Who knows? When Fire and Desire win the women's tag team championships, and that's because of what I said. I think they want to have some lineage, and have past champions that they can post a picture and say, Sasha and Bayley and the Iconics and Nikki Cross and Alexa, and now Fire and Desire.
Is this like a big deal? Like, is this a big deal? This feud, like, kind of like, because sometimes I don't see little bits and pieces of Raw and SmackDown.
I mean, as much as
like, is it
they
promoted?
They did the whole SmackDown versus Raw thing where you do a match with one person from each of the people in the tag team, and shit happens in the match, and the main thing that they played off of, and I'd be curious to know if it was planned from the beginning, but was 2 weeks ago. The reason that they had this match was because they beat them.
I remember that.
Fire and Desire beat.
I remember that. Yeah.
And I can't believe I keep calling them by their name. Mandy and Sonya beat Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross, and in the match, Mandy had screamed to Nikki, "You will never look like me," and then Alexa screams over, "No one wants to look like you." And it was good. Like, WWE posted a clip of it, and I should try and find it, to be honest. But it kind of, they played off that back and forth, and kind of just the whole. I want to know if that was planned, or if it was just, because if that was an on the whim thing for Mandy,
and then it turned
into something really good, then that's another good check mark for Mandy Rose. But
sure.
I don't know. I think they've had a good little title run, and the only thing I don't like about Nikki Cross and Alexa is every other week they're a babyface and a heel. Like, it's switched a couple times since SummerSlam. They were heels, and then the next night on Raw they're baby faces, and then now they're heels again for a little bit, and then now they're baby faces because they're fighting heels. So I don't really like the flipping back and forth, especially because I really like Alexa Bliss, because I think she does a really good job if she's both. She's a super good heel, and she's also a really good baby face, which I don't think that happens too often. You have some people who kind of have a lane and they're better in it, whereas in my opinion, I think Alexa Bliss is someone that can kind of be in both lanes whenever the time needs it. But that being said, you got to have those lanes be a significant amount. You know what I mean? Like, she's got to be a heel for a long time and then switch, or vice versa.
Or
not be switching back and forth so often. But yeah, I'm gonna go with Sonya and Mandy.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I feel like I feel bad about it almost, but I just haven't cared about these titles too much. Like, there hasn't been a team that's just got me to. I'm like whatever about it. I'm indifferent.
I hear you.
I
think there something that you think would get you to?
I don't know. Is there any tag teams around, like women's tag teams that were just always a tag team that could come?
You mean outside of WWE?
I guess they're kind of like.
They are, and the Iconics were the best. Like, the Iconics were the best version, because they were, like they always said, we want to have women's tag titles, and they were a tag team in NXT.
It's too bad the Bellas.
Oh, I know. And they're done now, right? Like,
yeah, I think so.
I think Brie said she's officially never had her match. That sucks, because I'm sure they would have loved to win those.
Yeah.
Maybe they can, 247 title their way into winning them quickly or something. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
For a half a night or something at a WrestleMania.
I think they'll probably just retain, though. Like, I don't think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm more excited than I thought I would be for that match. I got to be honest. Drew Gulak, Humberto Carrillo. Calerio? How do you say his last name? I always thought his name was just Humberto. And then Lince Dorado.
Humberto is heavy bass, right?
Yes, heavy bass.
I've been tuning in a little bit.
He's the heavy bass music, and his entrance music is what.
I don't like him though. He bothers. Like he has that smug face. Like that.
He looks 12. Is what I find.
Yeah,
he looks very young, and I'm sure he is. He's probably only 22, 23, which is extremely young for a professional wrestler. But yeah, that's one thing I noticed about him is just how young he looks.
Do you think this will be on the main card? That's all I wanted to talk about.
I don't think so.
Probably not.
No, probably not, in my opinion. But that's just because I don't honestly don't go out of crazy here, but I don't even know if AJ will be on the main card.
Yeah, no.
I could totally see AJ Cedric being on the pre-show.
No, I hear you, man. I hear you.
Just not to take anything. It's just there's what, 9 matches on this card? 8 matches?
There's a lot.
12, 11? So 11, that's way too many. Jesus Christ. So yeah, just give me a winner. We got to move forward.
Yeah. Gulak.
Yeah.
I'm a Gulakian.
I'm going to say Gulak. If not Gulak, Lince, because I've liked Lince. He's always been one of my favorite lucha guys that's on the show, especially because not that I don't like, the Mexican culture, but I thought it was cool that he's lucha and not really, like when you hear him talk, he's just a regular white dude.
Yeah.
So it's different. Like it's just and he's got a different type of mask.
I was going to say that he can talk pretty well.
Oh, yeah,
From what I've seen,
So yeah, I'm going to say maybe Lince on that one. How about the New Day versus the Revival?
I might be going to get a hot dog. Like, this is the problem.
Oh my goodness!
Where every title must be defended because we got to defend the titles that I don't really care about too.
Did you just mix these? These
I don't need this, man.
If we only need one set of women's titles, then we only need one set of men's.
Yeah,
that's kind of where I'm at.
Real, like, fuck.
I don't mind the WWE and the Universal having the the one big champion and then the US and the Intercontinental. It kind of makes sense, but there's not enough tag teams, man. There really isn't.
No.
And don't get me wrong, New Day and Revival is a hell of a match. These are guys that can put on a fucking show. Mm-hmm. So it's not like it's anything wrong with the wrestlers in the matches. It's just there's not enough of them, and it doesn't feel special.
It doesn't. No, it doesn't. Exactly. That's the best. Yeah, you said it right there. Doesn't feel special. This match, I have no interest in it.
You're going to get a hot dog.
I'm going to get a hot dog.
Who's winning?
I knew they retained. Sure.
Yeah.
They have it, right? Yes. Yeah. I don't even know.
They do. They are the blue belt champions.
They're keeping them.
How about Seth Rollins and Braun Strowman versus Robert Roode and Dolph Ziggler?
Yo, so
do we care about these belts?
Why? Not really, but a little bit more, yeah. Definitely. Because Seth and Braun, and all this shit, you know what I mean? And Robert Bobby, whatever, because they called him that. They just put his name. Like, why did they change it? And
I think they should just call him Rude.
Right?
I don't know. Pick something.
Like,
shave the mustache. Keep the mustache. Shave your beard. Keep your beard.
I picked it on the commentary. What's her face called him she called him Bobby.
Oh, did she?
Yeah. And then Seth or AJ made a joke about it, a couple weeks ago or whatever.
Oh, he said, "What are you, Bobby now?" Or what do you? I don't remember what you're.
Didn't he?
Referring.
Wasn't it him?
No, he might have. I just watched a lot. So
I think it was him. Either way, it's like, fuck off, man. I wish the guy kept the stash and then we had the name. I would get it.
Yeah,
but it's just like you went back to your old shtick.
Yeah, I don't. I don't know. I don't have much to say.
Yeah,
the red belt thing caught me this week, and I don't want to spend too much time on it. But bro, I seen him come out on Raw. I'm like, yo, he's the red belt man. I'm like, I didn't realize he has the only red belts.
Oh, Seth.
Yeah, like the literal leather red.
Yeah, you said that earlier, and I didn't look at it like that.
Yeah, he's the red belt man.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
The Red Ranger.
Has he pulled that one off?
Maybe we get it at the Clash.
It would make that might be too much red.
He would do it. He could do it.
He's got the half red shirt.
Oh,
remember that?
Jeez.
Yeah, Seth. Like I said earlier, I am excited because I think it's really cool that we're having tag team championships defended in the same night that the two people defending the belts are going to be fighting each other later. Super cool. Never happened before. When I realized that was happening when I was watching Raw, instantly got excited. So I don't want to take away from I don't want to bash this segment because I was excited. I was genuinely hyped up and I was like, this is freaking cool. This is unique and different and new. So I'll give them credit for trying something different. I hope that Rude and Ziggler don't win.
Yeah.
Because if they do, then like make them a tag team. And like give them gear and give them a name and shave Ziggler's fucking blonde perm and change. Well, he doesn't even have blonde hair anymore, but you know what I mean. Ziggler needs a change because it was very abrupt that he went from the screaming guy with the microphone to now being in a tag team. Did you see the backstage segment with him and AJ and the club and shit on Raw?
No.
Oh yeah, it was weird. I didn't know what was going on because it looked like they were trying to chirp them, but then they're like, "Hey, we got beef too. You guys need help," and then that was how they became friends. And then there was the 10-man tag match.
Oh.
So that they had a little segment backstage. I don't remember exactly what was said, but it was kind of, Ziggler stuck out the hand, and then he shook AJ's hand, and they kind of parted ways. But I don't know.
Honestly, dude, I think that they are gonna win. I don't want them to win because, like, I'm sick of like fucking
Randoms with belts.
Yeah, random Rude teams and random Ziggler teams too.
Yeah.
Like,
Rude's turning into Seth.
I like Rude, and I would like to see him do some things on his own too. So for them, even to like do a makeover of Dolph and go that road, like I don't even think I want that because I feel like they'll do it for a bit and then they might stop, like they did with fucking Gable.
Yeah, we're gonna talk about Gable and the King of the Ring stuff. Don't worry. I'm just realizing that now. He won the belt with 3 different people too, eh?
Who, Bobby or
no, Gable, because he won them with Jason Jordan.
Did they win the Raw or the SmackDown? Yeah, they did. Yeah, okay. Yeah,
I think they did.
They won the SmackDown ones.
I think they won.
Yeah.
And then he won them with Shelton.
Yep.
And then he won them with Bobby Roode.
Yep.
The Raw ones.
Yep.
Which, again, shout out to that match we saw at the house show. That was incredible.
Oh yeah.
Incredible match. Or wait, no, you weren't at that one.
I wasn't, but I remember you.
Yeah. I got a really good picture I posted on the Instagram page about that match. Yeah, I'll go.
I'm lost though. Like, who do you got? Sorry.
Oh, it's Seth Rollins and Braun. I think are gonna keep the belts.
I was gonna say I think I kind of want them to keep them because I kind of want I want them to go on a little bit.
Yeah, I want to see what happens on Monday if they keep the belts.
But at the same time, I could see them losing and that being a reason to bring more heat into their match later on in the night. That like, fuck, you lost the belts for us, or you fucked up. Like,
as long as we don't get some kind of Braun Strowman heel turn, I'll be happy.
No.
Like, and I mean, even if that like involves him leaving Seth, you know what I mean?
Yeah, no.
And I know that's not a full heel turn, but if Braun just kind of like walks away and imagine Seth wins, comes to the ring with all 3 belts against Braun. Like, Braun walks away, Braun leaves in the tag match, Seth somehow still beats Bobby and Dolph, ends the match, he's got both tag belts and the WWE Championship. Do you think that's something we could, I don't know, maybe we end the night with Braun as WWE Champion and Seth as the tag team champion? I don't know, I'm just trying to speak, hypothetically here.
No, I don't. So I don't. I'm going to say, I guess I'll say they will retain their belts though. No. They're going to give it to those guys. They're going to hold them for a couple weeks, and they're going to lose them to the Vikings. That's probably what's going to happen.
I freaking hope not, man. I like those guys. I actually like Sarah Logan more than I ever have after watching Ride Along with her and the Viking Raiders in the car together. She's fucking hilarious, bro. They were showing clips of her when she was doing the Ride Along with the fucking
Riot Squad.
Yeah, bro, and her farting in the car and shit, and just hilarious shit. And the Liv's like, yeah, it's because you carry a bag of meat everywhere, and she pulls out this huge bag of like pepperettes and all kinds of fucking just meat. She's a one of a kind chick, bro. It's jokes. So I liked if nobody's seen that and you're kind of on the fence of Sarah Logan and the Viking Raiders, maybe watch that Ride Along because it definitely turned me around to like them a little bit more because I hate everything they've done on Raw.
Yeah,
I really.
Yeah.
If they were in this match, I'd be disappointed, to be honest. But at the same time, I'm happy that they didn't, in that gauntlet match, they had a way to be pushed out of it by getting double disqualified.
Yeah.
In the beginning. As much as that was very not real. I don't know how the last time a wrestler disqualified both tag teams because they were fighting outside the ring. But it had its purpose in that tag team gauntlet match that happened.
Yeah.
Because they were the 2 teams that started. And then they fought outside the ring, and the ref counted them out and DQ'd them.
Yeah, sorry, I was thinking of another match.
Yeah, no worries. But we'll keep going because I had something else that I want to talk about. Heavy Machinery.
Okay, yeah.
But that's SmackDown this one is, I've been waiting. I don't know if you've noticed. Shinsuke Nakamura and The Miz for the Intercontinental Championship.
Yes.
Yeah.
We've been waiting.
So you don't think for a second here that Miz is winning is kind of what you've...
It just feels like it's too obvious, you know?
Yeah.
Like with all the shit that especially after I watched that roundtable and them talk, like I'm like, no, man, you can't. No, he's not winning. No, I'm still riding with that. No,
really?
No, we gotta let this guy do his whole thing with Sammy for a bit.
They already went back on that a little bit.
Did they? I missed that. I don't know what happened. So tell me if I missed. I know Undertaker came.
Well, Undertaker opened the show and then Sami Zayn came out and kind of was chirping him a little bit, talking to Undertaker.
Yeah.
I get why they did it. They know Sammy's a good talker and he's somebody that can take some bumps for Undertaker.
Yeah.
So that's pretty much all it was, is he was kind of like, you know, you need to go. Your time has passed. It's time for the future's here. We're here now. It's time for us to succeed.
I should have watched that.
And then Undertaker's just looking at him like, what the fuck are you talking to? Or who the hell, you know what I mean? Like, who do you think you're talking to? And then he went to leave, and Sammy was kind of, it was very...
So he wasn't there with him?
No. Not at all. Okay, That's what made me think that they're, at least, but I think it was just a 1 week.
Yeah.
I think it was because they wanted Sammy to bump for Undertaker, but they didn't want Nakamura to lose anything.
Yeah.
So they obviously just sent Sammy out by himself. The weird part is that Sammy was talking about himself being like, whereas now I'm looking at him more like a mouthpiece, not as much as like him trying to be a wrestler. So he was saying like, it's my time. And I was just like, I thought you were vouching for Shinsuke. But anyway.
Yeah.
So he kind of, Undertaker went to leave, and then Sammy was kind of like, you know, yes, all with his back turned, obviously. And then Undertaker came back in and chokeslammed him 1, 2, 3. And then Shinsuke later in the night, Miz had a match. I have it written on here somewhere. I don't know who he fought. I just literally wrote Miz match, so clearly not somebody that important, or at least I didn't think it was that important. Miz fought somebody, but Shinsuke was on commentary.
I think he fought Andrade.
He did fight Andrade because he fucking lost, and I couldn't believe that.
Yeah.
That Andrade lost 2 weeks ago, 2 weeks ago in the King of the Ring, clean.
Yeah.
And then he loses to Miz clean in a little bit of a botched spot that they had at the end of the match too. But Shinsuke was on commentary, and they were asking him questions.
Yeah.
So Shinsuke, how do you believe, you know, you'll fare against Miz? And hold on. And he would answer it all in Japanese. Not that I can do any kind of Japanese accent, but he would answer strictly in Japanese, and I was cracking up. Because Corey Graves would be like, "Oh, really? Okay, great. I love what you're saying, Shinsuke. I really think you know." And he was acting like he understood everything, so that was cool. But yeah, man, I don't think, as much as Shinsuke is probably him and Becky are my favorite wrestlers, he's not winning this match, in my opinion. I really, there isn't an ounce of me that thinks he's winning after Miz getting the big fucking, you know, winning on SmackDown, and I think, like I said a couple weeks ago, I think they want to give Miz that belt for the new SmackDown. I think Miz is going to walk into SmackDown Live on Fox as the Intercontinental Champion, the same way he won his first title on Raw 1000. He was the Intercontinental Champion at Raw 25.
See, and didn't they bring that up, or
I brought that up to you because I seen it on an Instagram post or something like that.
But he didn't like post it.
No, no. It was one of the wrestling accounts, because he's been the Intercontinental Champion at all of these big shows: SmackDown 1000, Raw 1000, Raw 25. He was the Intercontinental Champion at all of them. Mm-hmm. So I'm thinking that they're making it a big deal. SmackDown reunion.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I say I don't know, but because I don't. But I think that Shinsuke's losing.
Yeah, no.
In my own opinion.
Shinsuke. He's got it. We're good. I'd like to see him and Alistair later for that title.
Oh yeah,
that's what I'm. You know,
that would be such a hard hitting fucking strikes match. That you want to talk about a stand up UFC fight? Yeah. There's a stand up wrestling match right there. How about our boy Kofi and Randy Orton?
Yo, I caught this promo on the Go Home show with that. Like that's what I caught from SmackDown too.
What, Randy?
Yeah.
How amazing was that? I loved it. Him in the crowd?
Him, he said this on that roundtable. He said that
he's in the top 5 heel promos of all time.
He said that he's like, I'm not known as the guy on the shtick. Like, you know, I'm not like, but when I have something that I can get into, like, he's like, then, you know, because they were talking about Miz's promo on that SmackDown where he went off and it was just very natural, right?
I gotta watch this fucking interview. I might watch that tonight when we're done recording. But anyway,
yeah. And I thought of that because I've been thinking to even when we went to SmackDown a few weeks ago in Toronto, like his promo is like he's just
when he cares.
He's really like smug, and I feel like he's into this.
I totally think he's into this.
Yeah.
This man again. I really think he's into this storyline.
Like, those lines in this promo of like, oh yeah, we're sick of you talking about like the only thing you've done in the past 10 years is put me through a table in MSG and win the title. Like I was like, yeah, man, fuck yeah.
How about the little botched spot they had on SmackDown?
Over the table?
Where the table broke. Kofi's looking around like, what the fuck do I do now? And then he sees another table there and he pulls it out. I'll give him credit though. He jumped like twice as far as he needed to. I thought he was going to push the broken table out of the way and kind of move it a little closer. Yeah. It was a leap and a half. He's got some hops. Not that we didn't think he had them anyway, but yeah, that was crazy. What about this match though?
Here we are again, so we're back in this predicament. Like and like a lot of the picks that I've said, like I don't think shit's changing. I don't think it's gonna be the one. I want this to be the one where it changes hands.
Well, with that being,
I doubt it.
With that being said, bro, I think that this is the one. I think Randy's gonna win. And I think the reason that I think that that's a lot of I thinks is the time. I think I slowly realized like shit. It's been like 6 months since he won that belt. Because SummerSlam and Mania are like 6 months apart. So, because I still keep thinking of him as like a new champion. But it's like Seth's already lost his belt and won his belt back and been through a whole... So it's not like if he drops it now, it's like, oh, they took it away real soon. He's had a good title run. So I don't think if he were to lose the belt, it's not like a blatant... They're pulling the plug on Kofi now because he couldn't handle... It's like, well... No, it's just a title run. I mean, many guys have title runs that aren't 6 months.
Yeah.
So I think it's time. I think it's time for Randy to get that, whatever it is, 9, 8, 10. I don't know how many, 12, 13, how many title reigns he's got. But I'd like to see him. I'd like to see him with that red belt, though, as much as it's not the red belt.
Yeah.
Just because, again, the lineage. It's one more guy that in 10 years, when you look at the history of the Universal title, it's nice that they have a Brock Lesnar and a Goldberg and these kind of guys because it's guys of yester. You know what I mean? It shows that the title maybe feels like it was around longer than it was. But, and I've seen Randy with this same WWE championship, and it was very lackluster when he won it back in 2016 from Bray Wyatt.
Oh, yeah. Wow, yeah. I forgot about that.
Was that 16? And yeah, he won it from Bray Wyatt at Mania.
Yeah.
Yeah, so there you go. And that was...
I don't know if... Maybe he defended it.
At Mania? No, I think he won it because Bray Wyatt beat John Cena for it in the Elimination Chamber.
Yeah.
And then I think he held it until WrestleMania when Randy took it from him.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
When the worms and the bugs and the projections on the mat. It was a weird match.
It was.
That's one of those ones where when we do the look back one day...
That'll be fun. Yeah.
It'll be like, what the fuck was this?
Oh, man.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's my pick. I think Randy's taking this one.
I would like for Randy to take it, but I'm just not 100% sure that it's going to happen. Just, because of the story, I feel like it's just like, are they going to do that? Give it to the bad guy who just calls him stupid and beats him up a lot?
That's true. It's kind of a Booker T, Triple H type thing. Is that what you're getting at? Not so racy, but I mean... Kofi never really gets his...
Yeah, he's never... because Booker had a lot... Booker had the upside to Triple H going into that match. Like, he was getting shit over on him. Like, I feel like Kofi hasn't really...
Well, the table.
Yeah, he's had a couple. But I feel like there's been a lot more Randy, right? Of beating him up.
That's what made me... That was kind of what really kind of pushed me over the edge, was seeing Kofi get the better of him on SmackDown.
Yeah.
And WWE reverse psychology, if we know anything.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm surprised that Kofi's the one standing tall here on SmackDown. You'd think it would have been Randy, and then Kofi would stand tall at the pay-per-view. That doesn't always play out that way, but if you think about that, that was another thing that made me think that Randy might be the one winning.
When's the switch of Fox or Vox?
October, mid-October.
Soon?
Yeah, it's soon. Next couple weeks.
Do they want Randy to be the champ going in to that?
Definitely possible.
I keep thinking that Brock is still coming through at some point. Maybe on that first SmackDown.
Dude, I don't...
Fighting Kofi for that title like that.
I don't know about going for the belt right off the bat, but if Brock isn't on that episode of SmackDown, I will be more shocked than if he is... Sorry. If he isn't there, I'll be more shocked than if he is.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because I'm expecting him to be there.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Nah, but fuck it. Like I said, I everything else. I don't think anything else is changing. Yeah, Randy's winning.
Hey, let's hope. What about Seth and Braun, buddy? Main event time.
Yeah. Is it changing here?
I don't think so.
Probably not.
No, I don't think it's Braun's time. Like, he's not hot enough.
Yeah.
He can hold the belt. It's not that you can't put the title on Braun fucking Strowman. Of course you can. It's just I feel like it's a first championship. It's a first title win.
Yeah.
Make it mean something. Not that it doesn't mean anything here, but it's like it doesn't, because this whole pay-per-view is built around them defending it twice, and if he wins, it's like he beat Seth when Seth had to have 2 matches in one night. And it's just not, it doesn't look good as far as like a first title win for a big potential star.
Maybe that could be Seth's excuse after.
What's that?
I was tired.
I was tired.
Maybe they'll switch the roles. Like I would.
You better give me a rematch.
Yeah. The unfortunate thing is, like you said, man, it's just timing. I think the timing is fucked, and I think the fact that they've started to like sprinkle Bray into this, it just changes everything too. Like for Braun, like I don't have a doubt in my mind, like honestly, that they might have been leading towards Braun, like at some point.
And now,
now it's just like, because you can't, like Braun can't win the belt and then we sprinkle Bray in and do some 3-way. Like,
go
I don't
fight the
think
Fiend
that's
and
happening.
lose?
Yeah, I don't think that's going down.
Oh, maybe it is though. Maybe that's how the Fiend doesn't get pinned. I never thought of that. Maybe that's how they get Bray Wyatt in a match with the two of them, and Bray Wyatt doesn't have to eat a pin. He can lose, but not have to lose. You know what I mean? Seth can lose in the Hell in a Cell, and Braun can win. That would be something. Better than, him winning here at this pay-per-view.
And then maybe like go down the road of like the Fiend and Seth feuding non-title, and Braun does whatever with the title with
Exactly.
I don't know, Drew McIntyre or whoever the fuck, right? Yeah, I never thought of that. That's a good idea.
Let's stay tuned for that one. But I had something, I guess, with the pay-per-view out of the way.
Yeah.
We got to talk about this, no?
Welcome to the Kevin Owens Show.
He's fired.
You're fired. I wish he put more into it.
Oh, yeah.
I think he tried. He's probably tired, sweaty.
Yeah. The match was amazing. I mean, we'll talk about the whole Chad Gable and the King of the Ring in a minute, but I want to talk about just Kevin Owens being fired from WWE. What does this mean? Because it's not like Shane's got a match at Clash of Champions. Kevin Owens is going to come screw him over or some bullshit.
Yeah.
And what was the tweet today that Kevin Owens posted? 14/23/20.
Well, what I've been informed by the public is that
his contract is up next year?
No, like
sorry,
the numbers of the alphabet, they spell like those numbers spell the numbers of NXT in the alphabet. Like if you that's what I heard. This is what somebody told me today, literally. Like in my mind, as soon as that happened,
so 20 is the N is the 20th letter in the alphabet. 23 would be X. That makes sense.
Yeah, that's what I was told today. I didn't know like that.
Wow, trippy.
Yeah, right.
Or sorry, 14, 23, and 20. Yeah, that actually would. Wow.
So, like even before that though, I did think that I automatically thought that, you know what, they're gonna let him rock over NXT when it comes on TV because he's named, he's value, he's an OG NXT guy. Like to have him just that music hit in that setting would be fucking crazy. You know what I mean?
Holy fucking shit, bro! You're
like
blowing my mind.
Maybe he comes and fights fucking Adam Cole first night. Like, you know what I mean? And they're boys, like they chemistry and shit. I think he's going there regardless.
Really?
Yeah, I do.
You're blowing my fucking mind right now,
Yeah.
bro. This is not even something that even remotely crossed.
That's sick. See, I'm glad that didn't.
It didn't even cross my mind.
Yeah,
let alone did I see something about it. Because when I saw that, I'm going, okay, it's not him tweeting about his contract because WWE just reposted this.
Yeah.
So they obviously want people to know about whatever this is. That gives him a reason to go over there. He just got fired.
Yeah. Triple H is kind of
Triple H is,
you know what I mean?
Dude, I just played it, but like you're fucking blowing my mind right now.
Yeah,
that's some crazy shit. So let's stay tuned on that topic in the next couple weeks for the roundtable. If you join me again next week,
yeah,
and we'll follow up on that because holy shit, I didn't mind this whole segment at the end of the night. because again, I don't want to bring him up too much, but Wade Keller and a lot of the other journalists, they were talking like Kevin Owens was booked worse than any wrestler was ever booked in the history of wrestling. And I'm like,
why? Because
he was, in the middle of the match, he was trying to screw over, oh my God. Gable. Yeah. Sorry. Jeez. And he was, siding with Shane and it didn't seem that crazy to me. Like, it's $100,000 fine that he doesn't have to pay. Obviously, it's whatever. In the story, that's what it is. I don't know. I didn't think much of it. I was wondering, like, oh, why is he, not siding? But he was doing it very reluctantly. It's not like he was, like he was being like this. It pains him to do this, but he has to.
Yeah, and they talked about it on commentary too. Like, they brought it up.
Yeah. To me, it's like, sorry, Gable. Like, I get that, you're a babyface and Kevin Owens is a babyface, but that doesn't mean that you mean more to him than his family.
Yeah.
So, and we want to talk about whether or not $100,000 should put a dent in Kevin Owens' bank account. I don't know, and I don't care. I just mean, let's pretend like it does, and he's doing it for his family. I didn't think it was that big of a deal. I'm more curious what the fuck is going to happen with the whole firing. And again, you want to talk about fucking cliffhangers. Holy shit.
Yeah.
I kid you not, bro. I was dozing near the end of SmackDown.
Yeah.
I was kind of, the indica was getting to me. Yeah. It was hitting me, creeping up. But then when that happened, my eyes were like, immediately I kind of just like stepped back and was awake then. Because I was like, wait a second, what the fuck does that mean? And then the show's over and I'm sitting here with like, well, now I'm all awake and the show's over. Yeah. So they did something right. Yeah. Because they got me glued in there at the end. Like, wait, he's fired? What? Ooh, little WWE thing in the corner. Bye. We're gone.
Yeah, I remember that too at the end. I was like, oh shit, that's how it's over.
Yeah, it was very quick.
I almost wish there wasn't this tweet though, like that happened. I wish kind of like, because I heard this on I was just on watching YouTube and some guy talked about it, that tweet, and then Jag, shout out to Jag,
the NXT thing.
Yeah, our boy Jag, he told me this earlier today. He's like, oh, supposedly, I was like, oh, that's interesting because I seen that online too.
That's wild.
But I wish I just didn't know and like he just showed up. And I'd be like, whoa, what the fuck.
Same here, but I'll still do that.
I'll still do that, yeah.
He shows up to fight Adam Cole. Like, fuck me, man. That'll be fucking crazy. But yeah.
Welcome to the Kevin Owens Show.
Okay, last thing before I get to the F1 and then we get out of here. King of the Ring, bro.
Yeah.
The finals.
Yes.
Here we go. Chad Gable, Baron Corbin.
We said this.
We did.
We've come a long way.
We've come a long way, and I think the WWE, they're listening. But
round table.
They got the idea from somewhere. Because I certainly didn't get it from Wade Keller. Yeah. I'm waiting for Kurt Angle now. I'm just waiting for Kurt Angle now. That's
Finish it up, right?
It's all we need. We need that backstage segment with Chad Gable tying up the tape on his wrists. And then he looks up, and Kurt Angle walks into the picture, and he's like, don't worry, kid. I'm going to be there with you tonight.
Yeah.
And I got some 2% here. No, I don't know if he'll have the 2%. But this is what I'm waiting for now. If Baron Corbin wins this thing, I don't know what to say. Because he's a heel.
Yeah.
And we all hate him.
Yep.
And I don't want to get into go away heat. I
think he's winning people over though. Now I know he is. Like I see this talk online.
What do you mean?
Like, people are getting into him.
Like getting behind him?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I just mean all I was gonna give him credit. I can't speak for myself in that department, but I was just gonna say I don't think it's as much of the go away quote unquote heat that people talk about and that we don't like you. Heat is heat, man. This guy. Excuse me again, geez. This guy gets booed everywhere he goes. Everyone hates him.
Yeah.
He's a bad guy. He did change his gear. A little bit.
Yeah.
A little. It's better than it was. And the only positive that will come out of this King of the Ring if he wins, and shout out to Aftermath for this, is the gear change that we'll get from Baron Corbin when he hopefully becomes...
Oh, you think he'll do more changing?
Let's hope. If he does win this tournament and it's not Chad Gable, let's hope he becomes King Corbin and he dresses like a fucking king.
Oh, but he's probably still going to rock this.
You think so? I hope...
honestly, dude,
I hope he comes out in the Jerry Lawler singlet just to fucking troll everybody. Give me that. Give me something different. Not that I want to see Baron Corbin in a singlet. I don't. But...
The different that you'll get is that he will come out with the crown.
That's it.
every week, and
That's
probably
sideways.
yeah. See, it looks kind of funny though. Like I kind of like how it looks.
Oh, it's
on,
so-
like him in the chair, sitting there, like kind of
It's scomy
slouching
as
over.
fuck. You
I know,
want
but it's funny. Like
It is, but it's just he looks like a dirtbag.
I know, but that's the point. I think.
Like that picture that was everyone was. You know what I'm talking about. Anybody listening knows what I'm talking about. That fucking picture of him. But yeah,
I don't like as much as I'm rooting for Gable all the way, like I have been. I don't think he's gonna win. Like I said that like a few weeks back when we talked about it too. I feel like it's just a thing to kind of, but I feel like it's been like shitty booking too. Like in a sense, like they haven't done it the best way. I'm glad they've still done it because it gives him something. But it's gonna be like one of those situations where it's like, oh, you were right there.
Yeah.
You know, and then hopefully they can continue to do things with him after this.
Dude, I'm just highly invested in this. Like super invested. So like if Gable wins, I'm gonna be ecstatic, and if Corbin wins, I'm gonna be genuinely pissed off. And it is gonna be why? Yeah. We already hate him. We don't need a reason to hate him more. Everyone hates Corbin. So when you're gonna give him the King gimmick, and then we're all gonna hate him a little bit more. It's like, no, why don't you build up somebody for once and take this guy who could be the next Seth Rollins, and I know I just said that, the next Seth Rollins, not Kurt Angle, not the guy, I mean the next guy that was built up.
Mm-hmm.
Seth Rollins came into WWE 2012, 2013, 14, and look where he is now.
Yeah.
He's built up. He's a star, just like Roman. You know what I mean? He's one of these guys that's going to be looked at in, hopefully, probably in 15 years as one of those top guys.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He's in that Booker T, Triple H, Kurt Angle category.
Yeah.
Why not do that with Chad Gable and start to build this guy up? Give him the King thing. Give him a fucking Intercontinental title run. Let that run for a little while. Make him, I don't know, make it to the point where this guy could win the Royal Rumble and everybody wouldn't be sitting there thinking, oh my God, Chad Gable just won the Royal Rumble. It would be like, holy fuck, Chad Gable just won. Thank God. He's going to go challenge whoever's a champ now.
Yeah, they play so much on that underdogness of it. Like, I would legitimately probably be a little shocked at this point, like if he does win.
Gable.
Yeah. Like as
much as you called it from day one.
Yeah. It's just like they got a thing for Corbin too. And I feel like they're not letting it go. Like this is another.
Unfortunately, you're right. Unfortunately is the key word there, but yeah, I think you're probably right.
Because I'm hoping too that like that Gable would benefit from the loss as well, like as in like, you know what I mean? Almost.
The only benefit is that he made it to the final.
And they put on a good match, you know what I mean? And that he almost wins, and then the crowd respects him
afterwards.
Yeah. Because you got to do something more to help get the guy over, because people aren't into it still.
If that's the case, then like, you know, the next week, because we haven't talked about it yet, and you know, this match is taking place on Monday Night Raw next week, not at Clash of Champions. That's why we didn't include it in our Clash of Champions preview.
Yeah.
But then the next week on Monday Night Raw, he's got to have a big match to follow up this loss.
Yeah, for sure.
You know what I mean? He's got to beat a Cedric or somebody.
Somebody big, yeah.
Somebody that's decent. You know what I mean? So, I don't know. How about quickly, I know you weren't too happy about this being on Monday Night Raw. I feel like we have to talk about this. I don't want to spend because we're going super long tonight, and I still got to get to the F1 stuff. But
yeah, I'll try and get through this quick. No, because they just, like, the whole time we all were under the impression that it was going to be at the pay-per-view. And then, like, tell me it wasn't out of nowhere. Like, I heard this from other things I, like, listened to as well, where it was just, like when it popped up on SmackDown, it was like, oh, next week on Raw, here.
Yeah.
I was like, whoa, chill, whoa. What the fuck? Like, all these weeks you've been telling me and building this thing to...
But that's what's fucked is they did it sneakily. Like, they never said that it was on Clash of Champions. They never even hinted at it.
I know, they did.
I don't know.
They did. It's out there. I feel like for sure they've said a few times. We thought it was too.
But that's just because I think it was so obvious that we and you think they said it when I don't think they ever actually said it. But it's like we just assumed, like, well, yeah. I mean, they're gonna do. Like, to me, this is the way that it should be done, though, man. Because go back and watch our fucking look back of King of the Ring 2002. And that match didn't matter, and the name of the fucking pay-per-view was called King of the Ring. So, to me, we talked about this. We kind of went back and forth arguing a little bit in text. I think this makes this match matter way more because it may be the main event of Raw, And it's going to be a big deal. Whereas if it was just taking place like in between AJ and Cedric and before the fucking, iconic or the Fire and Desire, then it would just be, Chad Gable won or Baron Corbin won, and now we move on.
But I'd be more okay with it because it's at a pay-per-view and we can make a moment of it. That pay-per-view to me has that royal kind of feel to it, look.
Totally, yeah, that makes sense because of the, yeah.
They don't do dick with the arena, so we know that's not going to be a thing. But like the old arena had the red carpet. Like you could picture a nice, you know what I mean, the crown and everything. And now with it, and I'm like 90% sure that they said at some point throughout the weeks, like, especially in the early weeks of this tournament, like
we'd have to go
the
back.
Finals.
I don't remember that. I just remember assuming myself at least.
Yeah.
And I didn't think like I was assuming because like you said, we all assumed. I just don't know because I can't see them saying that and then going back on it. I honestly, as much as it is WWE, I just I don't see them doing that. I feel like they would have taken a lot of heat for that, especially for people that were going that had tickets to go to that show.
There was something I was listening, something I heard or seen, like they talked about it, how they were like kind of surprised by it too. Like we all thought it was, but it's because of the match. It's like we said too, like there's so much shit on it. Maybe that
there's 12.
It was a last minute change. Like it was changed though. Like I'm 90% sure that they mentioned it at some point.
And that I don't know. We'll have to find that clip. But either way, I think it'll be a bigger deal on Raw.
Hopefully. Like,
you know what I mean? I hope they treat it like, if it's not the main event, which it should be, what else is the main event? Unless you're having a Seth Braun rematch or something.
It should be the main. Yeah.
Yeah, treat it like it's a big deal. And then when we get the crowning moment, even if it is Baron Corbin, it's like...
This is the main stage.
And they can spend 10 minutes of TV time watching him put the crown on and all that shit. Whereas at the pay-per-view, it just wouldn't happen. Especially because of how many matches there is. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but... I don't know. To me, that's where it should. Like, it's only because they've said it's because I was under that impression, and then it's like, and it's it's even.
I'm just happier. Like, even if I was under that impression, I'm happier now. When I seen that it was on Raw, I'm like sick, because it means it's like I'm fired up for Raw now. There's like it's like giving me more. Not that I'm ever not going to watch Raw, but it's like maybe it gives you, somebody who doesn't watch every week, maybe you're going to come by this week and watch. Not that I'm excited just because of that, but it's like it'll pull the people like you in, be like, oh, I got to watch Raw this week.
Yeah.
You know, and they need that right now with the fucking ratings and the AEW and making sure that they're relevant. And
yeah, they do. And not to shit on these guys, but in all fairness, I don't think this is going to bring the whoever, like me, yes, because I'm into it.
It's just because it's the finals, not the characters.
It's the lull, though. Like in between, it feels weird too that there's a paper, like this was all building into a pay-per-view and then we have our pay-per-view and then it's right after. Like, and it was just so like, it came so quick. Like they literally threw it on the screen and I was like, whoa.
No, it's weird because it's not that I disagree with anything you're saying.
But you're okay with it.
I'm just okay with it.
Yeah.
No, and you're right. At the end of the day, it was leading there and I was like, oh shit, that's kind of weird. But then I let it sink in and I'm like, that just means like Raw's a good...
We got something to look forward to.
Yeah, like last week I was looking forward to MSG and Stone Cold. And it's like the Raws of the last 6 weeks are a lot better than the 6 weeks prior to that.
For sure. Yeah.
Since this Heyman crap and everything just means more now. Yeah. So I like that, man. I really do. But
hopefully we get a good...
Hopefully it doesn't open the show. You know what I mean? Yeah. Something bullshit like that. But
Jesus.
Alrighty. The F1 update for this week, the week of episode 53, the one that Don didn't miss.
Boom, boom.
Big one this week. It was the Italian Grand Prix.
Oh, nice.
You know, represent.
Yeah.
Italy and Ferrari. Finally, Don. They won their first race last week. You weren't here for me to talk about it. Ferrari won in Spa last weekend in Belgium. They had a back-to-back. So it was nice to, finally see Ferrari get the win. And these two tracks are kind of more straight line speed dependent. I think Monza, you're full throttle for like 70% of the lap.
I think I remember you talking going into it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so that they might have the advantage. So they did get the win in Spa, and I talked about it last week. I mean, and it was an extend. I think me and Will went 40 minutes on the round table talking about F1. So if you're listening to this show, don't worry. This segment won't be anywhere near that long this week, but. Yeah, so Ferrari wins in Monza, finally. This is, not only is it their second win of this season, but it's the first win for Ferrari at their home race at Monza since 2010. So 9 years, and it's been a while. And as much as I'm a Mercedes fan, I I've wanted to see Ferrari win this race since I've been back into Formula One, because that Ferrari car is the most iconic. Obviously, even I'm sure the Ferrari red race car is, the most iconic race car there is, and to win at their track in front of the Italian fans, the Tifosi as they're called, incredible. I mean, anybody that's interested, obviously go check out YouTube or anything like that, and actually let me know too, because I've been very curious if there's anybody that listens to this show that's a big wrestling fan. If you've gone out of your way to even watch a YouTube clip of Formula One, get at me, because I'm curious. Me and Will talked about this off air or on air, I don't even know, last week, but I'd be curious to know how many people have maybe, and I talked about it with Phil actually as well this week, my buddy from work, who have searched out pro wrestling Formula One because of the F1 update on the Pro Wrestling LookBack. So, let me know. I'm curious, because I enjoy doing this, but I'm curious if anybody else has gotten into Formula One because of it. Leclerc got the win, like I said. Ferrari, he passed Lewis, or he held his position against Lewis Hamilton in a questionable kind of pushing Lewis off to the side a little bit in when Lewis kind of went to take the lead on lap late in the race. I can't remember what lap it was, but another rough one for Vettel. He had another spin, man. This guy's a 4-time world champion with Red Bull, and he's kind of been struggling the last 2 years at Ferrari. So, his future is kind of unknown at the moment, and we don't know if he's going to stay with Ferrari this season and, be back next year to fulfill his contract, or if people think he might leave Formula One altogether.
Oh, sure.
Yeah, they think he's kind of just, checked out. He's had enough, and it's kind of, I feel horrible for him, because he's joined Ferrari in 2015, and, he's German, so Michael Schumacher was somebody that was always, he looked up to, and he wanted to join Ferrari as well. So he's been there since 2015. He hasn't been able to win, obviously, that Monza race I talked about, the first time in 9 years. And then his young teammate, Charles Leclerc, who's this young 20-year-old kid, comes in, and I wouldn't say he's wiping the floor with Sebastian, because he's definitely not, but he's out-qualified him in the last 6 races, and he beat him to the first Monza win. Yeah. So if I'm Seb, I'm feeling a little down, and, with a spin in the race, and then he drove out in the middle of the track and ran into the side of the Canadian guy, which was, I'm not a big Lance Stroll fan, but it still sucks to have him run into somebody. Yeah. And, he took a penalty for that, so I don't know. We'll see. Obviously, in the little F1 update I do, I'll talk more about Sebastian Vettel going forward and kind of maybe his future, but I don't know. Other little things. 4th and 5th place for Renault. That was really good. I didn't expect to see that team up that high, so we'll see going into this next week, Singapore, if they can keep that up. Giovinazzi, 9th place. I just have to represent another fellow Italian. Races for Alfa Romeo, so for him to get 9th was good, because the top 10 all get points. Yeah. So for him to finish in the points at his home race, like I said, fellow Italian is always, good to see. Decent day for Red Bull. Max had a bit of a rough start, knocking the wing at the front of the beginning of the race, and then Albon had a nice kind of, still looking good. I'm very curious about who is going to get that seat next year, because they've kind of brought in Albon for the rest of this season. Obviously, Verstappen will be there, but I don't know if it's going to be Gasly. Could be Sebastian Vettel could leave Ferrari and go back to Red Bull, where he won 4 championships. So Albon's doing good enough probably to keep that seat, but I'm just curious, going forward, what could happen. Way better weekend for McLaren this weekend, opposed to last weekend in Spa, when they had a bit of a double retirement, minus the one tire issue when they went to put a tire on Carlos Sainz's car, and it wasn't on quite tight enough, so they had to. That was the end of their race, because you can't really do a lap with a loose tire. Yeah. I hate to say it, but Haas still sucks. The race pace is not there. These guys, it's weird, man. They can qualify decently well. They'll qualify, just under the top 10 or in the top 10, and then whenever the race comes, their tires just gone. Okay. They can't keep the tires at the right temperature over the course of the race, whereas in qualifying they just need it for one lap. I don't know what that is that's causing that, but something that they definitely need to figure it out. And I'm curious with that team too, because everybody keeps talking about it. The 2 drivers there, Kevin Magnussen and Roman Grosjean, who is getting dropped next season, which guy's staying on the team, or is it both guys getting cut? I don't know. I don't even know who I like more. I like Grosjean because he's got a cookbook with his wife, and I used to do cooking, so I think that's kind of cool. But Magnussen's probably a better driver, but he's also a bit of a douchebag, so I don't necessarily like him that much. He's funny. 2 years ago, a guy came up to him when they were doing their interviews in the little pen that they have, and he's like, "Oh, you're the most unsportsmanlike driver ever." And Magnuson turns around and goes, "Suck my balls, mate." And then continues the interview. Well, literally, like, that was the interview. It was fucking hilarious. So he's funny, but he's a bit of a douche sometimes. And I don't think he's necessarily as good as some people think he is. But other than that, for Monza, that's kind of rough. Like I said last week, if you guys want more of this stuff, I'll bring Will in and we can start doing maybe even a separate released show. I don't know, but let me know, and if the F1 update is something that interests you guys, we can do more of it or less of it. Let me know. But the Monza crowd, bro, did you see the post that I made on Instagram with I may have seen one or two. I feel like there was one I might have come across in the past. It was just like the fans and the crowd kind of going nuts. That's it there. I just have to show you with the Italian music in the background. I'm sure you guys can hear a little bit of it, but just the shot of that, bro, is 5 times as big. Oh, yeah. So they're showing the podium, but that goes like where the camera is behind the camera. Yeah. Like a kilometer. It's all the way down to the straight. So the Italian fans are, I'm not just saying this because I'm Italian, but they're one of a kind. Yeah. And it's very unique and different. And like I said, that's why they call them the Tifosi, and they kind of have their own name. But if you're going to go to a race, that's definitely one of the races to put it on your calendar as far as to go see, because it's Italy, it's racing, and I mean, you just saw the fans on the
yeah, that looked insane.
Yeah, nuts. Crazy. And it was so crazy because Ferrari got the win. Yeah. Don't get me wrong, it's like that every year, but this year was even more because Ferrari was able to win for the first time in 9 years. Quick championship standings update, 240 or 200. I do that every week. I feel like I'm dyslexic. 284 points for Lewis Hamilton, 221 points for Valtteri Bottas, and 185 points for Verstappen. Still keeping strong there in third place. It's crazy that he's above both of the Ferraris. But I guess he does have 2 wins on the season, so that makes kind of sense. Quickly, next week, I have to talk about it, Don. I'm sorry, I know we've got to get out of here. But Singapore, bro, this is my favorite race of the year. We talked about it a couple weeks ago. Yeah. We got to maybe get you over in the morning. It's not what I said. It is going to be an early one. So I don't know if maybe you want to crash on the Saturday and we can get up really early. I don't know. Get back to me on that. But like I said, this is my favorite race of the year. It's, it's on the streets of Singapore. I think I talked to you a little bit how when you turn it on, it's dark here for us in Canada and it's light in Singapore. And then over the course of the pre-show, by the time the actual race starts, the sun has set in Singapore and rose in Canada, or North America, wherever you are, Eastern time zone. So that's super cool. It's kind of to see literally, it's like, hey, that's the same sun that I just saw on TV. Now it's over here. Yeah. 23 turns, so one of the most, if not the most amount of turns in one circuit or in one track on the calendar. A lot of lights. It's crazy, bro. I got to show you a video of this, because if you look at this track when they do the helicopter shot from above, it looks like a video game, or it looks like some sort of digital rendition, because I mean, it's a city at nighttime, so it's all black, and then you just see the outline of this white track throughout the city. It's super cool because it's like I said, it's the only one that's like this, and it reminds me, I don't know if you're familiar with the video game Wipeout. It's kind of like a futuristic racing game, but it reminds me of that, and it just looks like I said, like a video game. It's very different, and it's one of my favorite tracks to do in the sim rig downstairs when I do the sim racing talked about with Will last week, hopefully getting into that ARC racing league that Will talked about, but that's for another day. Side note, I did it first time ever today. I did a sim race before the podcast downstairs, so that was quite the experience to use. I felt like, you know what, I've never used this much of my brain in such a short amount of span, because it's so different podcasting and doing something like that. But I don't know, random. So yeah, streets of Singapore, like I said, lots of lights, 23 turns, 5.6 kilometers. The lap record is 1 minute 41 seconds, 0.9 by Kevin Magnuson, the douchebag that I talked about.
Does anybody got more of an upper hand going into this, as far as like the style of track?
I would say maybe Red Bull, because it is a bit more of an aero circuit and downforce. Ferrari definitely doesn't have the advantage here, because there's a couple straight lines on this one, but again, I would say Mercedes, because they've probably built the all-around best car. Yeah. And shout out to, again, 3 Legs 4 Wheels, who I've talked about previous episodes or sections of this podcast. And Mercedes, I think this year built more of an all-around better car rather than a qualifying car. In the past, they've built the car, let's build a car that can race at the front. Yeah. and let's make sure it can get pole and then get at the front and stay at the front, whereas this Mercedes car of this year isn't necessarily the quickest over one lap, but it's got the race pace. So I would say Mercedes has probably got the advantage, but you never know with Red Bull. And then at the same time, you never know with this track because it's so tight and walls everywhere. All it takes is one little tiny mistake and you're in the wall and then your race is over. So, yeah, I like that you're bringing the questions, Don. It's cool.
Yeah, that's curious.
Yeah. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Stay tuned for it. It's on TSN 4 probably if you're in Canada and you want to watch it. And I believe the coverage for the race in the morning starts at about 6:30 rather than 7:30 as far as, like I said, Canadian time zones go in the Eastern time zone. But yeah, that's it for the F1 update, unless you got any more questions for me, Don.
I think we're all good.
Well, I don't know. I may be wrong,
What?
but this might be the first longer than 2-hour roundtable.
Yeah.
So let us know if you enjoy the longer ones, because we can always change it up. But me and Don got a lot to say.
It
so
happens, yeah.
it's bound to happen. But if you don't already, like I said at the beginning of the show, check us out at PW LookBack. Send us an email, prowrestlinglookback@gmail.com. Send us a DM, questions, comments, concerns, like I said, at PW LookBack on Instagram and Twitter. Head over to teespring.com/prowrestlinglookback. Get that new shirt. It's not a work.
It's not a work.
I told you I was going to make something. Still no cup or backpack, but Newell keeps pushing me about the backpack, so I might have to do that for Newell. But yeah, like I said, all that. Hit the 5 stars on iTunes for us, Spotify, Podbean, YouTube. All the episodes are up on YouTube. I mean, even our OG stuff that isn't on iTunes is up on YouTube. So if you want to hear some of that original Pro Wrestling Look Back, head over to YouTube because that's where you can find it. My Twitter, at Salsa, SCELSA.
And my Twitter is at JustDon44.
And that's those are the Twitters for the guys. Don't forget to check out our sponsor, at Pure Oxide CBD. Premium CBD oil. Like I said, I take this stuff twice a day. Amazing for anxiety, mental clarity, joint pain, muscle pain, any kind of pain, really. 2,500 milligram bottle, 5,000 milligram bottle, or a 3,000 milligram cream. THC free, no GMOs, pet friendly. And Don, I am going to get you some. I'm going to try and work on that.
Oh, sweet.
Even if it's just me giving you my...
Yeah.
And we'll get there. But check them out, like I said, pureoxide.com if you want to order any of the stuff online, at justin.brothers on Instagram, and at pureoxidecbd. I've been Nick. This is the Roundtable episode 53.
And I'm Don, a.k.a. Podcast Poppy, telling you to stay classy.
Motherfuckers.